Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Shadowbringers podcast here on Video Game Choo Choo. I'm your host, Spencer, and joining me, as always, is Rose. How you doing?
Good. I'm sorry that this is our second episode. Due to some technical issues we may have had, our 5.1 podcast didn't exactly appear, but we're going to cover it now, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, and 5.1 was, in all honesty, a rather small patch.
Yeah.
As all of the 0.1 patches are, because if people might recall from Stormblood, they were originally going to put Eureka into 4.1.
They sure were.
But they couldn't, so it had to be delayed to 4.2.
3.1 was probably the worst that I think they've ever done. Just that.
Was there just nothing in 3.1?
So you weren't around for the... Let me tell you, it didn't come out until December, 6 months after Heavensward came out. There was like nothing to do, and then they just pumped it out, and it was like... That was when they had the worst relic step of all time with all the unidentifiable stuff and everything. Like, it was not a good scene. Void Arc.
Oh.
Like, that should tell you enough.
Yeah, Void Arc is not great, but what is great is Shadowbringers, because
hell yeah,
as of now, they've got like 3 expansions under their belt. They've got a better grasp on, how they want to do their dev cycle and stuff. So we're going to talk about 5.1 this episode, some 5.2 stuff, some stuff that's coming in 5.3, and we're just going to talk about our general thoughts on the game overall, because it's been almost a year since Shadowbringers launched.
That's true. God, it sure has been.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 more months and it will be there. So where would you like to start first?
I mean, I guess we should talk about 5.1 stuff first, right? I think that's probably the best one. Like, we can just do this in like a line.
Yeah. So 5.1 added, like obviously there's going to be main scenario stuff in each patch, but like the big content things in 5.1, there were 4 things. There was the Pixie Tribe, there was Hades Extreme, there was the new Blue Mage content, and then there was Alexander Ultimate. And those were the big... Oh, and the Nier raid, obviously. The real big thing. So, Pixies were pretty good. Although based off of the information we got with the 5.3 live letter, the 3 Shadowbringers tribes are Pixies, Qatari, and Dwarves, which is interesting because prior to Shadowbringers launch, they only told us that the Pixies, the new Mo, and the Dwarves were the tribes for this patch, and they kind of just bundled the new Mo with the Pixies, sort of, with like
and into the main scenario. Really, like you spend a lot of time with the new Mo. I feel like like you honestly spend more time with the new Mo than the Pixies. Probably, like you get a better grasp of who they are then.
Yeah. Which is really weird. I know a lot of people were saying like, well, they couldn't do the new Mo because they put the Pixies and the new Mo in the same like zone, and they've never done like 2 tribes in the same zone. And I thought, and my thinking was always like, oh, well, the new Mo are gonna like, oh, it's they're sad because there's no more humans around after the fall of Verbert, so they'll just go to Lakeland and then they'll try to reconnect with like people. So I always thought that the new Mo tribes were gonna be in Lakeland because again, like, Lakeland's kind of an underused area in the MSQ. It's mainly used for like 3 set pieces in the storyline, and then you don't really like spend a lot of time there. But they decided, no, we're going to have the Qatari instead to deliver on the Kakern tribe that never happened in Stormblood. So, but the Pixie tribe was fine. You finished the quest line, right? This is pretty cute.
Yeah, I think it was interesting that they added like more information on like Titania, the character that we defeat in the story, as less of like, because like obviously when you play Shadowbringer story, you find out like, oh, Titania's a role, less a person, a specific person, and getting to know about the specific person that was Titania before is, I think, kind of cool.
Definitely, and I really liked how they added like an instanced area
Yeah.
that was basically just a playground.
It was because they experimented with that in Stormblood with like both, or I guess in Heavensward go far as back as that actually, huh? With the Moogles, right? The Moogles build up that fountain, and then they went a little bigger
Yep.
with Stormblood with the whole like bridge.
Yeah.
But this is like easily
And the I think all the Stormblood tribes had it. It's just like the
Oh,
Kojin,
yeah,
just
huh.
like they built up their little treasure chest. It was more like the Vath there,
right.
where they
yeah.
have like that little like thing in the.
But then the
the
Namazu
wall.
totally got bigger and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought that. I think having it be its own instanced area is a much smarter move because they can get away with stuff way easier without the server strain, I think. And
Yeah.
I also.
And they don't have to disguise buildings
Yeah.
as like rocks.
Yeah,
you know?
and you don't have to have like the weird shit like that was the Namazu zone over there that was just empty void in the steppe for the longest time.
Yeah. I liked the pixie stuff. The Porksea mount is obviously really
Oh
good
yeah, top.
for a lot of reasons. I'm kind of sad that the Porksea minion is just kind of like one of those like
Quick exploration
ventures or like it's either I can't remember if it's a retainer venture or like an FC like airship one.
It's the retainers. I know. I had to try and get it for a while, obviously, with a couple people I know liking pigs.
But yeah, what I like about the Shadowbringers tribes overall, based on what we know about like the Qatari and the dwarves that are coming in 5.3, is they have in 2.0 there were 5 tribes. 4 of them deal with like combat jobs, and then one of them was like a crafting one. And then in Heavensward they were like, okay, we're only going to do 3 tribes from now on, and 2 of them were combat, and one of them was crafting. And then in Stormblood, they were like, all right, we're still going to have 3 tribes, but the crafting one is also going to be a gathering one. We're going to try experiment with that a bit. But now in Shadowbringers, it's like, no, if we're going to have 3 tribes, we should split up the roles. So one tribe, the Pixies, are going to be for combat jobs. One tribe, the Qatari, is going to be for gathering, and then one tribe, the dwarves, are going to be for crafting. I really like that.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would do more tribes though, personally. I feel like I'll probably talk about this more later, but I feel like even though the quality of stuff we've been getting in the game, I think has just only gone up, right? Like it just gets better.
Yeah.
I think the quantity is not equally like I understand that when, quality goes up, the quantity generally goes down, but I think we have gone down quite a bit over time.
Yeah.
So
Especially with like them introducing the new Mo and then just kind of like not really having them do anything as far as like gameplay outside of like the MSQ, like you said. So
I feel like there's a lot like they could explore, even if it was introducing more stuff. Like obviously, like I don't want them. I'm glad they're doing the dwarves instead of the Sahagin, because God, if they did the Sahagin dailies again, let me tell you, I would lose my mind.
I never had any doubt in my mind that we were going to get dwarves.
Oh yeah, I knew we were gonna get the dwarves, but I didn't know like the Qatari if we were even gonna get that before.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should go for like more crazy ones, because don't get me wrong, I think as we'll talk later, the Qatari ones are interesting and fun, and they're definitely like fooling around with it in a good way. But like I wish they would go more crazy. Like me and my friend in Heavensward, back when we didn't know that it was only going to be 3 beast tribes, we're constantly theorizing like what's some stupid shit they could do. Okay, what if they did an entire beast tribe that's the fucking Allagan nodes or something, and you can't talk to them, and they're just beeping and shit the entire time.
Oh, that would rule.
Yeah, and like that would let them use Aussie Slaw, which they didn't really use for anything.
Oh man, Allagan.
Like think how good that would be. Like like the conceit of it basically was the idea that a story is unfolding for the nodes, but you cannot comprehend it at all because they don't talk to you and like
Oh, that rules.
I
You're just escorting little
Yeah.
roads everywhere, and they're beeping and booping to each other, and you're like, I don't know what the hell's going
Yeah.
on, but they're changing colors, and it rules.
and one talks, but it can only talk in like very specific sentences or something like that, and that's how you get the quests or whatever. Like
It's because like the node was basically like an elevator servant
Yeah.
for the Alligans or something.
yeah, we get.
Oh,
See, yeah, like this is the sort of stuff I wish they would do because I feel like there's crazy stuff. Like, what if they fucking did like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a ridiculous one. What if they did the fucking shitty little hobgoblins, right? Like,
oh, see, I'd love that. I love the
Yeah.
hobgoblins.
like I
I was thinking like if you had to do a tribe for each zone, I feel like if they were gonna do the hinterlands, it would have been goblins, obviously, which they kind of like gestured. I remember them saying like the Alexander raids is the goblin tribe quests, which is kind of whatever, to be honest.
yeah.
Because like there is not a single goddamn player in this game who doesn't love the goblins. And part of that is because of the Alexander raids, but also they're just goblins. Who doesn't love goblins?
Yeah, they're
They make cheese.
one of the few very good designs from Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah, and I liked how they actually like in Shadowbringers, like one of the first enemies I found because I went to Kalusia first for the MSQ to meet with Alphino. Because I knew, like, because a lot of people were like, I got to go to see Alizé first, because after the end of 4.5, I was like, I need to go see my daughter again. But for me, I was like, Alizé is going to be fine. I need to make sure Alphino's still alive.
that little.
And so one of the first
dumbass,
enemies, and so one of the first enemies I encountered in Shadowbringers was the hobgoblins on the beach of Kalusia, and I was like, oh man, these goblins rule. I'd love to have them as a tribe. They should do that more. They should have monsters be tribes.
Yeah, I think
But yeah,
there's
I
just
agree.
more to experiment with because I feel like listen, I like their conceit that the dwarves are a beast tribe and stuff like that, but also at the same time, like I feel like we know everything about the dwarves, right? Like
Yeah,
they,
it's the tribe quests are going to be basically harmonizing the two families.
yeah, and
That's what it's going to be about.
it's just like not only did we get some main scenario stuff with the dwarves, side quest content with the dwarf, a lot of side quests, like all of the side quests in Kalusia are in their home. The role quests for healer are almost entirely about them.
Yep.
And also the near raids about them.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, so we need this extra one too. Like I don't doubt that it'll be good, don't get me wrong, because I feel like they've shown me they can write, but it's like I just think we could have had the hobgoblins. We could have had the fucking frog robots. What if it was just all the frog robots?
Oh man, that would have ruled.
Or like, the Talos. There you go. That's what they could have done.
Yeah. I know. I honestly, if I wanted a tribe from Shadowbringers that isn't like a tribe, I'd probably pick the elf bandits. that are in
Oh
Lakewood.
yeah, sure. Or the wargs.
Oh yeah, the wargs. Those would also
The
be really good.
wargs. We know nothing about them.
Yeah, all we know is the Shadowkeeper enlisted them into their army.
Love that Shadow
I really
Keeper.
hope people have done Shadow Walk with me by this point.
You have you done it? Yeah.
I did it, but here's the thing: I've watched Twin Peaks since then.
Now you know
So
I was
get
like,
that it's
yeah.
a joke now. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's basically all the tribe stuff. More tribes.
More tribe.
They're really good. So I want to talk about like the trials that we've gotten
Sure.
in these patches. So I didn't do I didn't do Innocence and Titania like on patch, but some friends of mine after a bunch of like a recurring joke of me not having unlocked Bard, they took me into a Titania PF with me on Archer to get a clear, and we cleared it in one shot with me on Archer, which says a lot about how easy that fight is. Because I didn't even have to really be told like what to do mechanic wise. It was very much just kind of like you see the mechanic, you do the mechanic. But my DPS, somebody was parsing at the time, and my DPS was like 5k. Don't do this.
Oh
Do not play
God.
this way like I'm playing it. So, but God, it was really funny. But then 5.1 introduced Hades Extreme, which I only have gotten to phase 2 on, but it seemed like a pretty straightforward fight. The middle phase seemed really cool. Do you have any thoughts on Hades?
So I love listening to the song Shadowbringers. Or no, I guess that's not the song, right? It's got
One Bring
One
Shadow.
Bring Shadow. There you go, yeah. And Invincible or whatever it is. Those are both good. The songs they use in the fight. That fight is so long, and I know they give you 2 totems, but god damn, did it need a checkpoint like Ruby Weapon? Like,
Yeah. I like how with Ruby Weapon, they were almost going to give us 2 tokens as well, but then they were like, no, we'll just shorten the fight, give them a checkpoint, and then you get one.
which good. I'd rather have that, honestly, because like half the problem
Yes.
with Hades is like groups for that die so much faster than any other primal that I've ever done. Just because if you're like going in, like that fight is 10 minutes minimum, like when you're doing it all the way through pretty much. And it's like, man, how much does it suck if all of a sudden one healer dies like right before the end? Like that's it, you're done. Like it's very unfortunate, I think. I'm glad that they've rectified that with the design going forward, but it's still like, oh man, because there are so many nights where I was just like, I'm gonna fuck around and do Hades because I want the cool dragon from Hades and I want the gemstone or whatever from Hades.
Yeah.
And fucking like every party just disbanding back to back because like a healer died or they messed up, because so they added the waymark thing in 5.2 that we can talk about. Well, I mean, we can talk about that right now, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They added the ability to save waypoint marker locations or whatever on a fight by fight basis pretty much.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. You can't set waymarks in the middle of a fight anymore, but it's, you know, whatever. It's a fine trade-off. But yeah, because that system did not exist yet, people had to guess where this one spot of the arena for the final phase you can cheese it, as they say.
Oh, are you talking about the standing there so you don't have to
Yep.
move for the exaflares?
Yep. And you just spend the entire last stage of the fight just standing there, everyone. What would happen is that they would go, does anyone know where the chief spot is? Someone would go, yes, put it not in the chief spot, like a pixel or 2 to the left or something, and that's it. Everyone die.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which was really making me hate that whole thing, because I was like, can't you people just dodge, please?
You do them exaflares aren't that hard to do.
Yeah, but now it's fine because everyone, you know, has the saved layout or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but it's fine now. But God, let me tell you, doing that 5.1 was like, oh. Also, all the weapons from that I did not like. I don't know how you feel about them, but
So I did look through all of them. There were some that I really liked. And then there were some that I were like, this could have been better if the proportions were different. Like the Gunblade would have looked better if its proportions were different. The Dark Knight sword looks neat.
yeah. The Red Mage Rapier has the little Asian face, I think, as a focus, right?
Yeah. It's got like a bunch of them. And they're on like they're like there's like a 6 of them that go around. It's really cool. It'd be cool if it was just a mask, but you know, they can't give us our mask yet.
I think the most disappointed I was is that the Black Mage rod is like really boring and is not just his.
Yeah, that's really
With the
weird.
little Zodiac statue, I would love that little fucking stupid Zodiac staff. Because on the flip side, not to get ahead of ourselves, the Ruby Weapon Black Mage rod is incredible.
Oh, yeah, it is. Speaking of Ruby Weapon, I cleared that fight 96 times.
Yeah, you animal. No wonder you don't like it anymore when you were saying, like, oh, I never want to do that again or whatever. I was like, of course you don't.
Yeah, so I really liked Ruby Weapon a lot. Like, I liked doing the fight. I liked the setup for the fight. I liked the fight itself. The music, at least phase one music, is like a really good banger. And progging the fight was really good because it was one of those fights where it's like all the mechanics just clicked in my head back to back, and I was able to like, oh, Helico Claw is happening. I know what I have to do. Oh, Raven's Flight is happening. I can see where the safe zone is going to be before it happens. Like, it felt really good. And then like there were parts where I'd be in party finders with people, and I would do learning parties with people with me having already cleared it, just because like I wanted to, like, I was helping other friends along. Like, I think I did one with you and another friend. We didn't clear, but that was because I had to leave. Because in my experience doing learning parties with a re-weapon, the group doesn't clear on the first lockout, but they do clear on the second lockout. Because you spend the first lockout doing phase one, and then you spend the second lockout doing phase two, basically. And that fight is like really easy, and it gets like the DPS check is really low for phase one, and then phase two it's just like, oh, everybody needs to perform perfectly or you're just wiped, because if somebody dies at the wrong time, somebody else will randomly get a mechanic, or you won't have a tank to catch the comets or whatever. But the fight was really fun, and then I was doing it enough times with other groups to try and get like weapons to get ready for like raiding 5.2. And I was just like, I have all these tokens, I might as well just try to get the fucking dragon for once. And then I got 8 dragons. I got outrolled on a 92 for one of them. But fucking clear number 96, I got the dragon. So it was nice. But so like I got all the ruby weapons from Ruby Weapon. I even got the crafting bit. The only thing I don't have is the barding, but I don't really care about the barding. My favorite weapon's probably the gunblade, because it just looks like a Doom weapon.
It does look like a Doom weapon. I'm very negative, I think, on like these. I'm gonna say, you know what? Gonna go out on a limb here and say I am very negative on most of the Shadowbringers weapons that they have made.
Yeah.
In comparison to, let's say, the past ratios we would have from like Heavensward or Stormblood.
Sure.
And that's mainly because I think like so when they were making Samurai, they came out and they said basically, hey, you can only make a samurai blade so many different ways before it stops being a samurai blade, right? And so that most of the ornamentation they were going to do would be the hilt or the sheath.
Scabbard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sheath thing, I adored. That was great for me. That was perfect. I was like, that's exactly what I want. Because I think like that's, you know, in normal samurai stuff, that's the most important part. Otherwise it's just a normal sword, but the sheaths are always pretty and stuff like that. That's exactly right. Like, perfect. They gave up on that. They fucking stopped because like all of the samurai swords they've released this expansion have been so fucking bad. like the tombstone one this time around in 5.2, that is literally a rapier. That's not even a katana anymore. That's
it's like a cutlass looking thing. It's got like I like it, but it looks kind of similar to like the ghost bark rapier you get, or the sword from Siren Song.
And
Sea.
also, if you go to get the Eden sword, it's also a rapier.
Yeah, but it's worse because its blade looks hideous.
Yeah, well, most of the Eden weapons have been hideous also.
Yeah, the raid weapons don't look good, in my opinion, on the whole.
Which is a shame, because I feel like the diamond stuff, by and large, you know, hey, there was an artistic decisions going into them that like was like thematically interesting at the very least.
My thing with like the ruby weapons is I didn't like most of them because they have like a really weird like red, like purpley red color that I didn't like, but at least like the blade was cool. But I hated the samurai sword because the scabbard looked really cool with like it had like a skeletal arm on it, and you know I'm all about skeletal shit. But then the katana itself, like the blade itself, looked hit gross.
Like the light doesn't even light up all the way or anything. Like it looks like bad. But you know what's good, because that just reminded me. A good one is the Machinist. Sorry. Well, no, I'm gonna keep saying Machinist. Whatever, I don't
Yeah, you
fucking
say
care.
Machinist, yeah.
Machinist one is just the spiker from Halo. It's the Burt Spike. It's just from Halo. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. The ruby. I like how it's called the ruby knife lock
Yeah.
too. We need more knife locks, please.
Yeah, I think like I liked. I mean, won't be a surprise to anyone who knows me, but the Deep Shadow stuff I thought was really, really good. And then I feel like for the most part, this new Tombstone set is less good.
See, I love the wrought iron, like the wooden handles and like the metalwork that's in the Crystarium set. So I actually like most
yeah.
of the Crystarium weapons a lot. But I also liked a lot of the Deep Shadow stuff as well. Like there was, I think the only Deep Shadow thing I didn't really like was like the axe, just because it looked like an ornamental axe rather than an axe you could actually swing at somebody. It looked like it was a little too fragile. But like the Crystarium stuff, like I love how like the Dark Knight sword is like not a huge ass flat blade like all the other Dark Knight swords. And I really love the gunblade because one, it kind of looks like the keyblade that Cloud gives you in Kingdom Hearts 2. It looks like a car key basically. And then it also it's like because most of the gunblades are like a revolver style or a flintlock style, but like the Crystarium mana triggers a wheel lock, which is a much older flintlock. It's like it's the precursor to flintlock pistols, and it looks really cool. It also has a huge like ball.
Oh
on the
yeah, you
pommel.
know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just, you know what? I think like I'm just like I was really mad about the ninja knives and the samurai sword. That it was just like.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, speaking of the weapons, is how much they've really shafted Dancer. And
Yes, that was what I was initially going to get distracted. Is like, for example, I mean the Gunbreaker stuff. So the Epic of Alexander came out, right, and you get the shiny weapons for it. The Gunbreaker one is just the Mount Gulg one, which they had already reused, and it was like,
yeah, it was already the crafted stuff, and then. The Dancer one is just like it was just the Shire.
Yeah.
The Shire ones.
And like
So.
all of the Dancer stuff is like in general, by and large, I think, especially like the Gunbreaker stuff, I can understand being tough to get used to or whatever over time, like them trying to figuring out like how to do it. But there's so many things you can do for chakrams to make them interesting, and they just refuse to go anything past like a circle.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to release the new Gold Saucer weapons.
Yeah.
And then the Dancer weapons is literally just a fan of cards.
It would be good.
See, that would be cool. See, that'd be good, but yeah.
But I feel like even like if we want to say stuck in like a circle or whatever, like if they wanted to keep them like circular, like there's so much more stuff that they could do that they're not. Like what if it's just a flat blade? Like a saw blade or something. Like you could just
Yeah. Yeah, it's weapon design is a bit tough, I guess, but the other real problem is like they started releasing like the new sets of shiny trial weapons, and they started with the Shinryu ones in 5.2.
Yep.
So you can get the Shinryu's ephemeral stuff, which is like crafted Shinryu weapons that have a cool little like lightning green particle effect.
Yeah, and the little rune circles
circle.
that Shinryu makes.
And then the fucking gunblade just looks like a fucking duck penis. It looks horrible. It looks like a duck penis. I can't not see it. It looks bad. I get what they were going for because it's got like a spine for the blade, but it curves in a really.
You know what? Yeah,
way.
now that I'm thinking of it in my head, yeah, I guess you're right. The Dancer one's good, at least for that.
Yeah, the Dancer one rules, and the Monk ones are really good as well. Since we're speaking on weapons, you want to talk about the resistance weapons now that we're in 5.2?
Okay, go.
So it looks like they're doing kind of another Eureka, sort of, maybe. But they're also not saying, like, you have to be in here to do it. So it's kind of just more like Eureka content that's just plot-wise related to the weapons, but not required to upgrade the weapons, it looks like. It might be required on later steps, but the step that they're adding in 5.3, it won't.
Didn't they say specifically that it was like you could choose which one you wanted to do?
Yeah. So if you want to do the new instance that's coming in 5.3, you can, but if you don't want to, you're not required to. But right now, their only step is literally just you get 1,000 poetics, you get the weapon, which is nice because they're basically just the same eye level as the ruby weapons, but they have different stats and 5 materia slots, which is really nice.
It's nice for some, but our Woburn, or what is it called? Is it
it's Woborn.
Woborn? It could have been better.
It could have not had tenacity. Yeah.
The Gunbreaker one, I love the aesthetic of. It's and the great name. It's Crown Slayer, isn't it? Or
it's Crown's
Guard.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes, I really like that a lot. It looks.
I would like it way more if the trigger for it didn't look. It looks like a fish hook. It looks like you have to like pierce yourself when you click it.
Hey, maybe they do. It's badass.
Maybe you do. Maybe you have to make a blood pact whenever you use like Superbolize.
See now, that sounds good. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. I've been saying like in 6.0 they need to give Gunbreaker a devil trigger because they have it in like all of the like the demon slice, demon slaughter. Just call it demon trigger, and then that's their new thing they can do. They need to do that. So, I mean, we already have like the Royal Guard jokes with the tank stance.
Yeah, it'll be. I think that would be a good thing. I think like. I mean, well, yeah, I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Are there any weapons that stand out to you?
I really like the red mage weapon a lot. Those are like it's like a specific kind of. It's almost like a Dark Souls 1. It's like a combination of Ricard's rapier and the Baldur's side sword. It's like it looks really fucking cool. It's just it's just a regular ass sword, but it's got really good ornamentation on it, and the little focus you get is like a little orb that pops out, and it's got like a little like angel thing on top with like a red crystal in the center. It looks really pretty.
The Astrologian one looks really nice.
It's very like it's got little planets, and then like the actual thing itself is very like delicate. It's not like a heavy chunky thing like most of the Astro weapons are.
Yeah. I really love the ninja knives because they're massive. They're so long. It's crazy.
See, I initially was down on them because I'm more of a thief than a ninja person.
Sure.
So I like when my daggers are just like not like wakizashi. I like when they're like actual daggers. But then I saw like, oh, those are just like you're just holding katanas in an ice pick grip. Though that's pretty cool. So they're more like the ninja swords in like Final Fantasy 12 or whatever. How do you feel about the samurai one, since you were talking about the samurai blades?
It's fine. I don't know. Like it just sort of looks like another. Like, it's not bad. I think it's like if it can work for people if they're going for something, but it's very like bland and compared to I think like a lot of these other ones. Like you look at like. Let's go for example. I'm looking at the whole gallery right now. It's like you said, like the rapier is really cool, and especially the rapier matches the artifact gear, I think, in a really good way. Like the white mage staff, I love that matches like white mage.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like how it's all gnarled and stuff.
But then the Dark Knight one is like, yeah, that's a Dark Knight sword. It's cool. The Samurai one is just like. It's a katana, not even like, this is a katana, cool. It's just like, yeah, like, it's even red and black color scheme. You'd think I would be like all over it, but
yeah, it's
just very basic in a way that, like, I mean, it'll change over time, but I feel like, especially because I was so underwhelmed by the Eureka katanas, this is also like very like, a real bummer. Like the fact that like I think like all the primal katanas look fucking awesome for the most part.
Yeah, it's weird to be in 5.2 and I still see people running around with like the Ifrit katana.
It's perfect, right? Katana. Like you look at them, like the even like the Garuda one, like the Ramu one is cool too. Like all of them, like there's they have like this really nice effect and like cool base model even that it like works really nice. And then this is just sort of like okay, and that's how I felt about Toshigara. I believe is the Eureka one. It's just like, okay, it's a katana with a ruby in the hilt or whatever, or sapphire in the hilt. Okay, yep, that's the katana. Yeah. And like they're not doing anything with the sheaths, like I was saying earlier. Like that's one of my biggest problems is that like I would love if they drew like a little painting on the sheath or something like that to represent like, I don't know, like here like they could have like some sort of like Hrothgar thing going on or something like,
or have like beads and stuff hanging off of the sheath.
But
that'd be good.
Yeah, and like that's how I feel with like the ruby weapon. They could have like put like ruby weapon's face on it or something on the sheath or something like that, or some other fucked up shit. But it's just like, I don't know, like
especially considering the astro weapon and for ruby weapon. The design in the center is like it's literally just the helico claw stuff. It's like the helico claw mixed with the liquefaction stuff it does, like where it turns the ground into like a weird like quicksand trap. It looked really cool, and they could have done something like that with like the katana, like the sheath, or even like the hilt. Like I thought the hilts were going to be the big focus of the the blades, but a lot of them, like the Shinryu stuff, like the blade itself is just like this really like bizarre shaped like katana adjacent thing, and then it's like I always thought that the katanas were just going to be like a regular ass sword each time, and the changes were going to be in the sheath and the hilt. But
it just feels like I think like I could point to 3 other katanas in the game that look exactly like this. I think that's the problem. Whereas like if you look at that Dark Knight sword, it's like, yes, that is what you picture in your mind as being a Dark Knight sword, but there isn't something like that, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing with that specific shape yet. So
same thing with like I love the Paladin ones too. The sword at least I really like. I think there's actually the shield's pretty cool too. Yeah, the shield has like a little gem in the center. That axe does not seem great, but
I love how people are like it's Emmett Silk, but as an axe, it's got like color, and it's got his color scheme.
Oh my god, it does.
It's funny.
Also, the books are very disappointing. I think because if you go and look at like the Draconomicon is one of my favorite summoner books. That was the base for the Heavensward relic. I thought that was a great one. That's a great like basic book, but it still looks fancy, you know. And these are just like books.
Well, the thing with the books is that the summoner pages, they're like technicolored. They're really trippy.
Okay. All right.
But then for the scholar one, they're just like normal scholar pages, and I was like, really? They should have, because like they should have done for the scholar one where the pages are black and then it's like gold ink. They should have done that, in my opinion. But
oh wait, the summoner one has a horn on it. I take it all back.
There you go.
Yeah.
My least favorite relic is Soul Scourge, the Black Mage one, because it's literally just what if we stuck a crystal on a stick.
It doesn't even look like a crystal. That looks like the fucking firework popsicles you can buy at the grocery store.
Oh my god. And the thing is, it has the problem that a lot of Black Mage staves have, where like you basically choke the top of the staff rather than holding it in the center like in a nice way, so it looks really doofy. Plus the Deep Shadow Scythe is the best.
Oh, it's really good
for the end of time, basically. So
I have been using Stardust Rod Atma since 2.0.
There you go.
But I also use the Caladanda Lux, which I think was like that's one of the best examples I can think of their art design and class design intersecting in a really good way, because like the Caladanda Lux lights up a fire orb, right?
Oh, nice.
So it's like, like you're casting fire out of a firestorm at the end of your staff. Like, that's cool. That works.
Yeah. They should do that more.
They should do that more. You're right. I feel like they should make some katanas that like if they're making like, you know, relics or something for samurai, like why not put like the Sakura Blossom stuff in, or the like, you know, Yukikaze effects or something, like, you know.
My ideal samurai weapon is one where the sheath is like split into 4 different sections, like on a diagonal bias, and so it basically looks like it's split up into like 4 different triangles that go along the length, and then each of those triangles is a different, like almost like a woodwork painting of like each season, because that's the big samurai thing with like, the the seasons being a factor in all of their their weapon skills and stuff. That's my ideal anyway.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I think like the fact that they haven't done that yet is shocking. Or like even if, what if they just did that whole seasonal thing like buy a relic chain? Like you start out with spring and then you gradually go to winter at the end. Like,
yeah, that'd be really cool.
Again,
Speaking of another disappointment,
yeah,
a lot of people are really happy now that Monk actually has a second Tonfa
that
set
aren't cybernetic.
that aren't cyber Tonfas. So you can have classics. You can have classic Tonfas for when you want to just be like a classic Monk look, or you can have cyber katanas when you want to play Phantasy Star Online 2 or whatever. I'm not big on Tonfas.
I am, but I feel like so I was initially like really positive on this just because of that specific reasoning. Like, oh, cool, they're adding more Tonfas after not having real Tonfas in there. Like, cool. But then I looked at them, and my girlfriend said something to me about them being really unpractical for Tonfa, and I have to agree. This is not what real Tonfa would be.
Is it because they're telescopic?
They're telescopic and also like the like gold and stuff on them and all the gems and shit. It's like
yeah. I think if people want Tonfa, they want like just regular wooden Tonfa.
That should be in the gold saucer by now. I can't believe it's not, considering the training sword for samurai is in there.
Yeah. Well, it might be coming later since they've proven now that they're willing to do Tonfas a second time.
That's true.
I just like punching stuff with my fists, you know?
Yeah. We need to get back to the hellish claws of 2.0.
I'm really happy that like Monk does have options for people who do want to punch with punching weapons or katars or Tonfas now. I'm just gonna stick with my regular fists. So I'm not saying the Tonfas are bad, everybody. I'm just saying they're not really for me, but I'm glad they're in the game.
More variety is always nice as opposed to that Black Mage staff.
Yeah. That Black Mage staff is...
I think that might be the worst one.
So
I'm looking at like all of these and I think that might be the worst one. The Dancer one's like fine, whatever.
It's a Dancer weapon.
But yeah, I think that Black Mage one might be the worst one outside of Scholar. I think those two are really bad.
Yeah. I'd like the Scholar one more if the feather on the side like popped out. Because as it stands when you fold the book, it's just kind of there. But it'd be cool if it popped out and it floated by it or whatever. That'd be neat. So I think that's all the weapon stuff. Did you feel anything strongly about like Gongos?
The music's great
for the resistance weapons. Oh yeah, the music rules.
I can't believe they put that song in there just for this area you're in for 4 minutes or whatever.
Oh, what song is this?
It's a brand new song. It's not a from anything or anything. I'm just surprised like there's so much effort put into it for like a zone you're not in much.
I have a feeling it's going to tie into wherever we're going for 6.0. Because what's weird about Gongos is if you look on the world map, it's in the same category as the Ivalice raids. Because those all take place in Nagsha.
Well,
so
I mean, I don't know if that'll be 6.0 necessarily, just because like this whole thing's going to be the Ivalice stuff again, right? So I mean, it would make sense that it's all there. Like we're gonna fight fucking Gabranth or whatever, right? Or who is it that there? Is it Noah?
You're right. It's Noah. Okay. It's Noah Van Gabranth. Yeah,
who is right. Bosch's son?
Yeah, he's Bosch's son instead of his twin brother in this one.
Normal.
Yeah. Well, it's 14. It's not 12.
You're right, yeah.
There's like similarities, but things aren't consistent. The only time they're going to do that is when we definitely go to Ilsabard at one point, and there's just going to be fucking Nibelheim somewhere up there in the mountains.
Damn right there is.
It's just going to be there.
It's going to be great.
It's just going to be there.
Yeah.
No, but I think like... I don't think like we'll be going specifically like it's going to be Nagsha only for 6.0, but I think like once Nagsha becomes a more like an actual like area, they'll uncover, because it's really weird how you have to go to Gongos from the Doman Enclave.
Yeah.
That feels like a really weird stopgap measure because we're not able to go to anywhere else in Nagsha. Like we can't travel to Rabanastre because it's destroyed and also kind of occupied by the Garleans at this point, and we can't go to like any adjacent areas like the Golmore jungle, so I feel like some of those areas might be unlocked as zones. Like we might get like a desert zone, although we did just get a desert zone with Amarang. So, but we'll see. I really like the music in that area. It's really good. And the weird like caves that you see in the back that are definitely going to open up and we'll be able to like actually explore in there. It's like being shown like the first area of Eureka, but you can only explore like the base camp because they didn't actually add the whole rest of the zone yet. So, but we'll have to see in 5.3 where they add I think they're adding the southern front, the Boja southern front is what they said.
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Because I think the actual citadel itself is in the north. That trial, that instance, though, was real trippy.
It was, well, I think you know how I'm pretty negative on it as a whole, but I do like the presentation of it quite a bit. I think that was really interesting, and I hope more of the instances going forward are like that. That one and the Estinian one, I really liked. I felt like even if the Estinian one had the problems we talked about, well, we didn't talk about them on a podcast actually because it's what happened, but we could just say needed more moves, needed more happening than what happened.
If you're going to make us play as a Dragoon man, you need to give us like something that's more similar to the Dragoon moveset, not just like 5 buttons.
Yeah, not just 5 buttons, like 2 of which aren't even Dragoon moves that don't make any sense, and you just press them once every on a timer.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those things were cool. It's nice that they're branching out and trying different stuff. Like, but like, so you don't like the setup for it because of the writing that they do with Mikoto is her name? Mikoto?
Oh, Mikoto? Yeah, it's more like what they do with Sid, but...
Oh, yeah. See, I think... because like the whole big point of that like instance is like the reveal that Sid's dad, Midas, was tempered by Bahamut, and that's what caused the meteor incident in Boja Citadel. I never thought that he would actually be tempered by Bahamut, though. So when that happened for me, I was like, oh shit, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, the thing is that, like, in 2.0, Gaius literally tells Sid that that's the case in a cutscene.
Oh.
And that's why I was really mad about it, because I knew that, because I had done, let's say, extensive research at one point into anything related to Bahamut.
For no reason.
And, I double-checked with multiple people and looked at text logs from the main scenario, and yes, Gaius quite literally tells Sid that in 2.0, which is why it was like a big thing for me, because I love Sid in Final Fantasy XIV. I think he's the best Sid that has ever existed. I love that man. And, like... that whole thing just really felt like it was making him out to be look like an idiot.
Gotcha.
And also coupling that with the whole like stuff that they were going on about, like where it was like, oh wow, everyone's shocked that the Empire would invite a calamity or whatever, and your character's like, or whatever, when that's revealed or whatever, that they were basically like encouraging a calamity. And I was like, that's what Shadowbringers was about, guys. Like, what?
Yeah, as it turns out, the Empire is actually just like a front company for causing calamity.
Like, I was just so blown away that they were just like, isn't this shocking? Like, it really just felt like Matsuno wrote this, Yasumi Matsuno, who wrote, the Evilly stuff, Final Fantasy Tactics, FF12, so on, and it just felt like he had not read Shadowbringers, or like... even arguably 2.0, like it felt very 2.0 quality writing to me. Right. And part of that was actually supported by Matsuno later saying that like most of the story that he's done for this is inspired by one of his drafts for Vagrant Story 2.
Oh wow.
Which really tells me like that just means like, hey, he's just using old material without really integrating it all the way.
Yeah, it's not like the it's like the opposite of like the Nier stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Nier stuff is fucking Yoko Taro just saying, I'm gonna put the sequel to Nier Automata into this MMO that is a completely unrelated game that just happens to be owned by the same company that financed Nier Automata.
It's great. It's really good. We should talk about that. Actually, I don't know how much more there is to say. Well, we'll talk about that after this. How about that? Because we still have to talk about
the only other thing we have to talk about regarding the instance, because like the setup for it's really cool. The reveal is like, you know, it's going to be hit or miss depending on how invested you are in Sid and how invested you are in like the Boja stuff, obviously. Because but like the big thing is like we fucking get to fight Varus. We get to have a boss fight that was basically almost denied from us. Or denied to us. From us. I don't know how English works.
Denied to us, I believe, yeah.
But like we get to do Memoria Misera and we get to fight Varus, and God, that fight is nuts. You did it on Samurai, right?
The first time I cleared it, I did it on Dancer.
Well, I'm not talking about the actual like doing it with players. I'm talking about like when you.
I've never actually done it on Samurai. I think now that you say that, I think that might be one of the only classes I didn't, just because they always had a Samurai in the party.
Oh sure, but like when you did it with like for the not the MSQ, but for like the storyline.
Oh yes, that was Samurai for that.
What did you do it on? Okay, so what's funny is if you do it on Tank, which I did, you just get to press the button with Thancred up there. And then I was telling people like, yeah, I just had to press a button, whereas everybody else is like, oh, I had to like tether to Alizé, or I had to like heal people, or I had to just like attack the thing that you have you have to like fight off the attack that Varus does. And I thought it was really cool how they did adjust the fight based on what role you were playing, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but because a lot of people don't know that, because you only ever get to do that once, basically. There's no like way to redo that fight. But the actual like trial itself, like playing it with other people, clearing the fight, I had a rougher time clearing it than with Ruby, but it got a lot better when I stopped playing Tank and stopped being bored out of my mind, because tanking that fight is just really boring.
Yeah.
And I say this as a Tank main.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems very dull. I can't even imagine playing it on Samurai, honestly, just because like the most fun I had in that, like doing that, was on Red Mage and Ninja. And Ninja was specifically because my favorite part of Ninja now is figuring out when to use the ninjutsus, since they changed them. Because you can basically just be like, okay, so I need to run away, but I can do big lightning, and then I can do my little shuriken move and stuff like that. Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
I think that fight's very good for it, because there's a lot of like having to exit out and in and such.
Yeah. I've only ever cleared the fight, and I've only ever done the fight on Monk, and it's really fun doing it on Monk, because there's so many opportunities for you to get Riddle of Earth up, so you don't have to deal with positionals. But then there's also a bunch of moments where you can do things like actually use Tornado Kick and fucking Six-Sided Star frequently in a fight and like not have it be a problem. So you just have to like time stuff really well, but it's really neat. I'm still not used on Monk to like pressing perfect balance to do like Dragon Kick, Boot Shine, but doing that fight a lot on Monk made me realize how much they need to like change Monk, but we'll talk about that later when we get to like our favorite and least favorite jobs to play. What do you think about like the fact that this trial is required to get the dyeable versions of the artifact gear?
On one hand, I like it because I like the idea of a trial having something that isn't weapons, because I feel like they really cornered themselves into weapons or accessories once.
Yeah.
And but like I've always felt that way, just because I always wanted them to make primal themed armor and stuff like that, which they did do at one point in Heavensward, you know, like the tombstone stuff. Yeah. But I was like, always like, if they could just make like, you know, one like maybe like one piece of gear or one or two pieces of gear for each class or something like that. That like they felt they could really pull off a good design for, given the parameters with that aesthetic. I thought that would be cool because that wouldn't have to be them designing a full set and stuff. Like I thought,
Yeah.
but here, like it's fine. Like I feel like I don't think this fight is particularly hard or anything. It's definitely intimidating, that's for sure. There's a lot going on. So I do think it's kind of sucky that it's not like you can beat the trial and then you can like do the 2.0 thing of crafting like upgrades for people who maybe can't do the trial.
Yeah.
Because I think that kind of sucks if you're someone who doesn't necessarily like lean into the hardcore end of the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's a hard fight either. I think it's about as equally difficult as Ruby Weapon, whereas Ruby Weapon is balanced where like the first phase is really easy and the second phase is really like tight in terms of you really need to be on top of the mechanics. Yeah. I feel like Varus is like a nice middle ground between those where it's like it's not as easy as Ruby Phase 1, but it's not as hard as Ruby Phase 2. Like there are rooms for you to like you can have parts in Varus where like people just completely eat shit and like almost the entire party dies and you can healer LB3 and get back up and everything is fine. Whereas with Ruby Weapon Phase 2, like if one person dies, it can just fuck up the entire run and you have to start over. So I agree, and I agree that it's like not like a difficult fight, but it's very active, and having not healed the fight, I feel like healing is the hardest role to do that fight in, purely because like the healers are responsible for positioning the 2 stack markers, and if those aren't positioned properly, you can just like create no safe zones for your party, and then people just like get turned around or confused, or they just get like blown up by all the S that are going out at that time. So, but I'm fine with it. I just also wish that like you said, that there was another path for people to get that armor, because I just want them to give us the artifact gear that's already dyeable.
They should, just from the get-go. It's pointless.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's just not to use this word because like all gaming stuff could be boiled down to this, but it just feels artificial. Like yeah.
Especially since like there's plot reason you have to get that armor. Well, you don't have to, but like it's recommended you do it towards the end of Shadowbringers because Grenolt makes it for you. And it's really weird to get like the idealized version of it on another planet.
Yep.
From an unrelated trial.
That takes place inside of a dream.
Yeah, it's very weird. That's the other thing, the last thing I'll say about the resistance weapons is it's really weird how they don't just upgrade into like because we have like the weathered versions for the artifact weapons, but then they don't get upgraded like they did in Eureka. You don't upgrade them into like the next step. But so like the Woeborn for the Dark Knight sword, it looks nothing like the weathered Shadowbringer. So it's just a really weird change, and I wonder if they're gonna have them look more like the Shadowbringer relic weapons going forward.
Why are they even weathered?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Why are they even weathered? Just like if the relic weapons are not going to be tied to the actual artifact weapons, then don't have them be weathered. Just have them be whatever, and then you can dye them. Because we still can't dye the weapons. We can dye the armor, but not the weapons.
And I can't see them doing something with that in the next one, right? That would be weird for them to be like, here's a new weapon and also your old weapon.
Yeah. So they should just not have those be called antiquated or weathered. They should just be whatever, and then you can dye them.
Yeah.
Although I will say that now that everybody has their hands on dyeable Gunbreaker code, everybody I know is dyeing it either red, white, or black.
Yeah, well, what are we going to do? Come on.
Well, that's why I dyed mine green.
Oh, wow. Mr. Fancy over here.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It looks good in almost any color.
It sure does.
So, I don't blame people for wanting to dye it white or dye it black or dye it red. I'm just saying, like...
You know what's bad?
That's what people are doing. What?
The Dancer shirt. Dyeable. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
they don't change the color on the inside of it. Or this little scarf.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
It really, that one really gets limited in what you want to dye it, because some colors, like, it looks fine in white, but it
Yeah,
doesn't look fine in other colors.
but like I wanted to make it like, I don't know, purple, and it'll just look dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all we have to say about Memoria Misera, or Misery, as my friends and I like to call it, because progging that fight was misery, and sometimes PF can be
Yeah, I was gonna say
misery.
pubbing it. It's just as bad.
Let's shift over to the near stuff,
Yeah.
since we were talking about how, like, you didn't really enjoy the resistance weapon writing with Sid, but like how the near stuff was handled much better.
Yeah.
So currently we have one, like, alliance raid, and then there's a couple, like, extra quests you can do after you do the alliance raid, and then 5.3 we're getting the second one. You're a big near head.
Oh, yeah.
And not really like a near automata, although you did like that. You like near
Yep.
Gestalt. I have only played one ending of Near Automata. I've been
Wow.
meaning to go back to it. Yeah.
Well,
I have an issue with games that want me to play them over and over.
well,
you know?
I want. Wait. What? Wait. Hold the phone. You're an animal. Oh my god.
Are you possibly referring to the fact that I have played through the MSQ of Final Fantasy XIV online?
Yes.
A Realm Reborn multiple times on multiple
Yes,
levels?
and the Nier Automata one's maybe 5 hours.
That's true.
Also, like,
You're right.
you do
It's-
know that endings C and D are completely different, right? And you don't have to play through the game again.
I'm aware that that's true. I'm
Okay.
aware that they don't actually. I'm aware that there are like 26 or so endings, but not all of them require you to literally play through the whole game again.
Yeah, only one does really B. But even then, there's
Yeah.
differences.
Yes, I was saying that in a tongue
I
in cheek way,
know,
because
yeah.
I'm also like replaying other games that I have already
Yeah.
beaten over again.
Oh yeah, BioShock recently, huh?
Yeah, it was more like when I was playing Nier Automata, I basically marathoned it like
Sure.
late at night, and then I was like, I'm tired.
Well, you got to
So-
get back to it. Sorry, those are the rules.
I got to go back to it. But you're a big Nier head. You're a big Nier
Yeah.
fan. How do you feel about all of the content that we've had so far?
So initially, I was mildly worried. I mean, I was initially very stoked. I should say initially very stoked, but then it became mild worry just because I was not a big fan of the tactic stuff. And someone had planted it in my mind, basically, that like the reason the tactic stuff isn't good is because the constraints of an MMO developer or whatever. Like the FF14 team would never let him get away with, whatever he wanted to do. But they seem to
Right.
have let Yoko Taro get away with it, so I don't know.
Well, there was a recent interview that I think is actually we're actually gonna be able to watch it tomorrow as of this recording. Like, we're
Oh,
not
right.
the date when we're recording, but apparently there's a scene where Yoko Taro was like, I wanted to do this, but then they were yelling at me and said, you can't have the Warrior of Light do that.
I'm sure he was making them do something horrible, though, is the thing, knowing him. Like, he was
Oh,
like,
right.
what if you make them do a war crime?
Well, I was also thinking if it was one of those scenarios where it's like, I want to do these two things, or I want to do this one thing, but it's really extreme. So I'm going to present it as being like, here's the thing I want to do, and then here's this thing that's way out of the way. So the thing I actually want to do,
I bet he's an
seems more
expert at that.
Normal, probably.
But no, like, I think, like, everything that's in there so far, like, it's obviously not, like, playing a Nier game or anything, but it's still, like, pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I think the way that this is integrated into the world is much better than the other one, than the Ivoli stuff. Because they have these two dwarf NPCs who were in a side quest before, but knowing now that Yoko Taro writes them makes a lot more sense, let's say, because they
Yeah.
talk like crazy people.
They also have very specific animations, like, unique to
Yeah.
them, like with them pulling out the bombs and stuff. And it's cool because the thing that I've liked about this is there are 3 unique things that the Nier raid has done that has opened up the doors for other stuff
Yeah.
in the game to do. One, branching storyline like quest paths where you can only choose one, which they've already done again.
Yep.
Where you can choose to either go with the brother or the sister. I went with the sister.
I also went with the sister.
But I also it's not really a choice that impacts stuff. It's more just like you get different flavor text and you're walking with a different NPC through the factory. It's not like you have to choose which job to unlock, and if you pick one, like, oh, if you pick Paladin you can never unlock Dark Knight. It's not like that. It's just more like which one you want to do. It's kind of like choosing whether you want to go see Alphino or Alizé first. You still get both of them, but which one you choose first doesn't really matter. Although in here, it's more like which one you choose locks you out of the other one, but it's not like a huge loss. And plus, you can always just like YouTube what the other one looks like if you're really curious. The second thing I like is how the Alliance raid is just an instance you can walk in and like explore yourself. I've always wanted that for all the dungeons, because some of the stuff in there is really cool, and it'd be nice to like walk through them for like, because I don't want to go through, like, let's say I've got a new Dragoon Glamour and I don't want to climb up all of Somal just to get screenshots, you know?
Yeah, like I think one of the worst examples of this is probably the reason why they might have done it even, is because in the Ivalice raids, like, there was that whole bit where like you sometimes got to go in the underwater part or whatever, and you felt bad for reading. Like, you felt like you were holding people up or that you were going to fuck stuff up by just trying to read.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel like people do that in, like, the dungeons. Like, in a lot of newer players, like, they get into the Thousand Maws of Totorak and they want to read the writings on the walls, but then everybody just runs ahead, so they feel like, oh, I can't. I'm not allowed to. But you're not going to go back in that dungeon and try it again, and you're definitely not going to, like, solo instance it and just do it, because by the time you remember, you'll be like 150 hours into the game.
Yeah.
That dungeon won't mean anything to you anymore. The third thing I like is the collections option in the fucking menus, which is a new thing we have now, where we're just getting like quest items that you can activate, and they just put the Nier UI into the game. That is some next level shit right there. It
is. Like, that was the part where I really sat there and goes, okay, so they're not holding back with letting Yoko Taro, like, fuck around with some stuff.
They let him add a new main menu option.
Yeah, like, that's great. Game. Like, that only works for that and stuff like that, and adds, like, more text logs, which I hope they do for more things going forward, honestly.
Hell yeah. I'd love to see more things get put in there that you can just interact. Like, it would have been cool if, as part of the collections, the crystals that you pick up at the end of each of the role quests in Shadowbringers, the crystals were in the collections and you could view them to like view the cutscenes or whatever. That would have been cool. Or at least get like a written summary of what had happened.
To go to like the raid proper also, like, I thought it was probably one of the best Alliance raids they've done yet. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked Rabanastre a lot more for reasons of, like, I really like Final Fantasy XII, so it was cool being in Rabanastre again, and I really liked the tactics game, so it was really cool seeing, like, oh fuck, it's fucking Argath as the final boss of that area. Fuck that asshole, and he's a piece of shit. I love to fucking kill him in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn Online, Heavensward Shadowbringers, Stormblood. But like, I think as far as the gameplay is concerned, because I just really liked how week one of Rabanastre, people couldn't get through Hashmal, and he was just like wiping people left and right, and people were disbanded. Like, that's just really fun to me for like Alliance raids. And I didn't really get that in Copied Factory, despite the fact that it had a whole bunch of like new mechanics introduced. But I wouldn't say that Copied Factory is bad by any stretch. It's really enjoyable content. And I imagine you get more or less mileage depending on your interactions with Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know anything about Nier Automata, it's probably really fun. And then, like, the more invested you're in with Nier Automata, you might get, like, more mileage, because, like, I have just enough Nier Automata exposure to go, like, oh, this is cool. I remember dodging orbs in the game, and, oh, look, it's the tank from, like, the carnival, and, oh, hey, cool, there's these little, like, robots or whatever.
Oh, hey, it's 9S. What?
But then I don't have so much investment where I'm like, you know what, honestly, this is not doing it for me.
Uh-huh.
Because I definitely know that there were some people who were like, it's kind of like, it's just a little bit too fan servicey for them, which is weird because seeing the stuff that we're getting in 5.3, it's looking less like fan service and it's looking more like Yoko Taro is just putting the sequel to Nier Automata in this MMO.
Which I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, he's made like a ton of stage plays and shit that are all like canon and stuff. So like,
The worst part, yeah, the it wouldn't be surprising if it's just like, yeah, this is the sequel to Nier Automata. The worst part for me is the outfits.
yeah, I will agree with you there for sure.
Because like it is cool how they've specifically modeled the 2B stuff so that I can wear it on my male character. Love that. That's good shit. I don't like how the actual raid gear itself is gender locked, insofar as like when you wear it on a male or female character, its appearance changes so that if you're a male character, it looks more like 9S inspired stuff, whereas if you're a female character, it looks more 2B inspired. That's disappointing.
Yeah, it's really fucked up, and it makes me like worried that like the outfits going forward is just going to be, you finish the second raid, you get 9S's outfit for everyone. You finish the last raid, you get A2's outfit for everyone, or something like.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that they would just end up going like well, listen, they can't do Drakengard stuff for a lot of reasons. Just because the copyright's weird, but like they could just add your Gestalt things in. Fuck it, whatever. Like that's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Maybe they will surprise me going forward, but I already am like, what are they gonna do for armor this time? Like, how do they make it not just the same thing again?
I think the best way they could have handled the armor is like they should have just had it all be like 9S inspired this time, and then you get the 2B outfit.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
like,
that
that's
would
not
be
to say
fine.
like the because like the 2B inspired stuff like it looks really good. I know a lot of people who really like it, like the tank version or like the caster set specifically. And I think it was worth it to make those outfits. I just don't think it was worth it to like gender lock them basically. So they either should have split it down so some of the jobs look more 2B inspired and some of the jobs look more 9S inspired, or they should have just done all one or all the other. Or they could have just, honestly, you want to know what I thought the first gear we were going to have? I thought it was going to be just like hodgepodge metal armor from all of the little robots. So like I thought we were going to have like really clunky looking armor to make us look like the Nier Automata like little robot.
Yeah.
Like the orb heads or stuff. Like you'd have like an orb head as like a pauldron on the tank set or whatever. That's what I thought the first gear was going to be. But I don't know. The music's really good though.
The new theme that they made specifically for the last fight that I'm sure we'll hear in the last fight of all the other ones, it's perfect. The combination of Weight of the World and Prelude is like boom. That is, I don't know how you get much better than that, honestly.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, I'm like bum 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 bum. It's great.
It is the perfect, and I love how they used it in the trailer for 5.12. It is like the perfect marriage of Final Fantasy and Nier.
Yep.
So,
which is nice because I was really underwhelmed by Keiichi Okabe's last foray into Final Fantasy music, which was the Gladio DLC for Final Fantasy 15.
oh no.
He did Battle on the Big Bridge, and it felt like almost like a parody of his works to me. Like, it was just like, what's a Nier song sound like? It's the wah 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 wah, you know, or whatever, like singing.
Yeah.
And like, it was just like, yep, that sure is Battle on the Big Bridge, but with that sound font.
Well, see, the problem with that also is that they've already made the best version of Battle on the Big Bridge, and it's in Final Fantasy 13 too.
You're damn right they did. Exactly right. God, it's so good.
It's so good. Do you have any other Nier thoughts? Do you have anything thoughts on like the new stuff that's coming out?
I think that The setting for the next one is very, very good.
I like how it's called the Puppets Bunker.
Yeah.
Because like, I love that name because in the perspective of Nier Automata, you are playing as like 2B and 9S, and I think you play as A2 at one point.
Yep.
So you're playing as like the androids. So for you as a player, like, ah, yes, the bunker is like the base, but then like how it's called the Puppets Bunker, like it's their bunker, not yours, because we're not playing them anymore. We're playing like the Warrior of Light in Final Fantasy XIV. So I just like that name, how it's called the Puppets Bunker, because I think up until that point, players in their mind would have just thought about it as the bunker, but calling it the Puppets Bunker adds something really spooky to it.
Oh, she's too puppet.
Yeah. Also, when I first saw the screenshot during the live letter, it looked like a concept art of like a Star Wars film that was coming out. Like it just looked like the fucking Death Star that's in the fucking sand or whatever. It looks really fucking cool. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be the carnival because of the intermediate quest that you get to do after that they added in 5.1, but it looks like the dwarves themselves are going to be having a carnival, and that's unrelated to the raid.
Yeah, it's a good misdirection. Well, they'll probably put what's her name in the big dress robot.
Oh yeah, she was the first boss of that game that gave me trouble. She was also really, really spooky. Yeah,
well, when you have did you play any of Route B at all of Nier Automata?
I only played up into the desert part where you see all the robots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's as far as I got.
Let me tell you get more information about her.
Oh no. She's scary though.
Well, so it'll only get scarier.
No, great. I love it. All right. So I think we can talk about. Let's talk about job changes.
Yeah, sure.
So you have played all the jobs now.
Yep.
And I have played all the jobs sans like Bard because again I haven't unlocked it because funny jokes.
You're not missing out.
What is your favorite job to play and the least favorite job to play?
Favorite is still Samurai.
Okay.
Hands down. I will always be Samurai probably unless they really fuck things up somewhere along the lines, because I have always loved casters and the way that they integrated like like what I would always do in Heaven's Sword, and even like let's say 2.0 and Heaven's Sword was like in 2.0 I played and Heaven's Sword I played ninja and summoner. I just always did that because I loved the combination of both. Like it was like I get to do the melee stuff and I get to do the caster stuff. I usually lean towards casters in MMOs. Like I used to be a warlock main in World of Warcraft before they created the two perfect classes for me.
You mean Demon Hunter and
Death Knight.
Oh yeah, Death Knight.
Both of them. Like
yeah, both of them.
But like even when I play other ones, I always choose like the fun caster or whatever because I just like casting. It's fun.
See, it's funny because I always just imagine you as like a sword person.
Yeah,
like,
but so that's the thing.
A casty person.
I'm a big sword person also, which is why I usually play both of them in tandem. One for aesthetic and one for gameplay usually. But the marriage in Samurai is absolutely perfect, and they didn't fuck it up this time around and made it even better. So unless they really fuck it up next time, I think we'll be here talking about 6.0 and I'll still be like, yeah, it's a Samurai.
They did fuck it up at the beginning with like Shoha and how underwhelming it is.
They did, but even that couldn't ruin it all the way.
And they fixed it, and I've played Samurai since the Shoha fixes with meditation, and it rules.
Yeah, and they added a notification or a little thing to the HUD now also.
Yes.
In 5.2, which really helps.
Samurai is really fun.
It's really great.
What's your least favorite?
Monk. It's Monk.
Hey, guess what my least favorite is?
Is it Monk?
It's Monk, but here's the thing. I love Monk, but it's also my least favorite to play, but I also still keep playing it is the thing.
Uh-huh.
Because Like there are here's an example. Like there's one job for each role that I kind of just like, this job is fun to play, but it's just like a bit too boring for me, or like I like the other jobs in that role better. Like they are paladin for the tanks, white mage for the healers, red mage for the casters, and samurai for the melee. But it's not, but again, like I love playing samurai. It's just the other melee jobs have more interesting things going on for me, and I like playing them more.
Yeah.
Either just kinesthetically or aesthetically. With Monk, I love playing it, but goddamn, do they have they done nothing with that job in 3 expansions?
They have done nothing. Like,
It hasn't been built upon its base rotation in a fun way. It hasn't really. It's gotten some quality of life, but nowhere near the quality of life of like Black Mage. Like Black Mage is so well designed in Shadowbringers that the only thing I can think that they add is they give you a trait where you don't where Fire 4 resets your Astral Fire stack, so you don't have to throw out that one fire cast to keep up your Astral Fire during your fire phase. That's the only thing I can think they can add in Black Mage, because as a job design, Black Mage is basically perfect right now.
yeah, and it's also largely the same that it's been since Heavensward, and even to an extent like 2.0, it's just built upon and expanded on.
And like Black Mage still has some, like there's some weird stuff with Black Mage in the sense that it has a weird, like it still has Scathe, and it still has like Blizzard 2 and Fire 2, which they could honestly just have like Flare. Like they could do with Black Mage what a lot of other jobs got this expansion, where like Black Mage gets a trait that upgrades Fire 2 into Flare when you're at level 50, because you don't really use Fire 2 once you reach, because eventually you reach a point in Black Mage rotation where like you are just casting Flare, you are not fucking with Fire 2 at all.
Yep.
And you basically never use Blizzard, you always use Freeze anyway, so they should just change Blizzard 2 to just upgrade into Freeze, or just change Freeze to be Blizzard 2.
Yep.
But, and then they could change Scathe to upgrade into Xenoglossy, because when's the last time you cast Scathe? And Xenoglossy is basically just Scathe, but better.
Yeah, I feel like keeping Scathe around is fine, though, as an edge case. Just because, like, yeah, even ignoring, like, there are sometimes situations where you don't have Xenoglossy up and you have to move.
Yeah.
But also the overworld.
Really
like,
yeah. But, like, I don't have an issue with Black Mage still having access to sleep, because that can be useful. It's not often useful, but it's fine that if a job's... Like, I'm not asking for everything in Monk to have, like, a generalized purpose, but Monk has just gotten like a bunch of niche shit in the past like 3 expansions, like Tornado Kick. You still don't really use it all that much. You might get, like, I use it in Misera when Varus jumps up to do his big huge sword slash and the party has to like do a DPS check. I use it there, and then that's basically the only time I really get to use it, because you can't generate stacks fast enough to warrant using Tornado Kick more than like once or twice a fight. Once at the beginning, or once when a phase transition, and then once at the end. Like, Six-Sided Star is great, but it's so weird that it doesn't really mesh with the rest of the gameplay. I love playing Monk, but they really need to like do shit with it. Because the other thing that I hate about Monk is its gauge is the only one in the game that doesn't have an overflow allowance. Because like on Samurai, you can use your Kenki gauge at 20, at 10, 20, and 50 based on what skill you want to use. But the gauge goes up to 100. So you can hold off on using stuff and you won't lose DPS. You only start losing DPS on Samurai if the gauge gets capped out, because then you're not getting gauge at that point.
I'm going to make you more upset.
Yeah.
Because they have created exactly the thing that you want, and they put it on Bard. Apex Arrow works exactly how you want the Forbidden Chakra to, I think, based on what you're saying.
Oh, how does that work?
So I'm assuming you want Forbidden Chakra, you can unleash it at any time, it just does less damage, right?
No, what I want is I just want... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I know how Apex Arrow works. I know what you're talking about now. I don't even want that for, like, the chakras. What I want for the chakras is I want it so that you can carry 15 chakra stacks, but you can only ever use 5 at a time.
Okay, all right, yeah, sure.
So that way, like, because, like, here's the thing. when you hit Brotherhood and you're in a physical heavy party, you're going to get shit tons of chakra. And the problem is losing chakra because you're already capped, and Monk goes so fast that you can't really like afford to like sit there and spam the forbidden chakra button in hopes that you get that 5th proc. Because like if you get every extra chakra stack that you get is such a huge damage loss on Monk, it's unreal that it doesn't have an overflow to its gauge. It's nuts. And like I like doing the base rotation. I like how there's a little optimization in Monk where you can basically just do 2 true strikes instead of doing true strike twin snakes, but you have to be really optimized on it, and you have to be at a specific skill speed to pull it off. I like how there's that little optimization to it where it's like it does give you more damage if you can pull it off perfectly, but if you don't do it, then you're just better off doing the normal Monk rotation. But
yeah,
fix Monk. They need to do
Monk. So much to it though at this point. Like I mean, they just did the ninja rework recently, and I thought it was quite good, but that's barely reworking it, if we're being real. Like it's just sort of like they changed how one system worked and a couple moves. Monk needs 3 expansions of work done to it. I will say they do have the best move in the game, probably,
which is
Riddle of Earth.
Oh yeah, that's Riddle of Earth is like the one good thing they added.
It's
but
great.
The thing is, when they added it in Stormblood, it didn't do the good thing it does now.
No, it did not.
It took them a whole expansion to give them the cool thing. So
I wish every class had a button like that, honestly. But at least Monk has something, I guess.
At least Monk is also the one that needs it the most because they have the most positionals. So it's nice that they have a button where they can ignore positionals for 30 seconds. But also the issue with Monk is like it has a huge they added the gauges, so stuff would be taken off of the buff bar, so you didn't have to keep looking at all of your buffs and keeping track of shit like on
But you still gotta.
But you still have to on Monk, because they have their forms and they have their... I have to keep track of whether I have the Leaden Fist buff now, despite the fact that Dragoons, when they do their positionals, they get their True Thrust ability changes its icon to be Raiden Thrust, and that should be on Monk. They should have Bootshine turn into 100 Fists, and then you can use that instead, and it's got a different animation. I'm sorry to rant about Monk for 15
No, it's
minutes,
fine.
but
I mean, I think that's how a lot of people out there feel, right? Like they really don't like Monk.
It feels like the whole dev team. There's at least somebody on the dev team who mains one of the jobs, and nobody mains Monk. So when they're balancing stuff or making new stuff, they're just like, all right, which one of you is playing Monk this time around? Who's going to do the Monk work? That's how it feels.
And it also feels like, to a degree to me, that they are trying to keep one class super simple, but they're also failing at that, I think, personally. But I think that's their intent with it, is that they want just keep it. It's the punch class where you just use the same rotation over and over again, because I feel like they believe Black Mage is similar in that sense, but as we said before, very different situation.
Honestly, if they want Monk is kind of like Black Mage in that they both have very simple rotations, but most of their difficulty comes from the actual movement, where Black Mage doesn't want to move at all and Monk needs to move a lot. I feel like they should lean into that more, where they need to update the gauge, so the chakra gauge lets you carry 10 or 15 stacks of chakra. So when you blast off a forbidden chakra, it just automatically fills the gauge with any of your excess chakra. You don't just lose it. And they should have a part of the gauge that keeps track of your forms. So and then every time you go through a form cycle, you go from Oppo to Raptor to Coral and back. Once you do that a couple times or 3 times, you get a charge, kind of like the Samurai meditation stuff. And then when you do that, you can do Tornado Kick, but if you do it from the front of the boss, you only lose one Grease Lightning stack instead of all of them. Because I don't know if many people know this, but we used to have weapon skills that had front positionals.
Yeah.
Ninja used to have one. It was called Sneak Attack, and it was what you could do instead of Trick Attack. And Trick Attack was like if you hit from the rear, they'd get the damage up debuff on them. But ninjas could also do Sneak Attack, which was a front positional, which was like the big backstab move that you see a lot of ninja type classes get in like MMOs and tabletop games. Where like Sneak Attack had like a potency of like 500 or so, and this was in like 3.x or so. So 500 potency was a big deal back then, because I think that was around, I think that was more than Fell Cleave at the time, but you basically never did it because you would technically get more damage out if you did Trick Attack, which is why they removed it in Stormblood. But Monk should get a front positional. It'd be fucking weird, but
I feel like the problem with that is so much of their design has become cleaves when it comes to tank situation. Like,
well, sure, but they could have it be a system where, like, since you're only going to the front positional to do Tornado Kick, you can just hold on your Tornado Kick until it's safe, and then you can go do it. Or you can just have like Riddle of Earth up, and then or True North, and then you can just do it anyway.
Sure.
So, just like having the option.
What if they built in like a Riddle of Earth style like mechanic into just your rotation or something? Like just like you get a 10-second window or something where you have no positionals after like doing stuff right for a while or something.
Yeah. Like
that would work.
There's so much stuff with Monk, but a lot of it feels disjointed, or very situational, like Tornado Kicks, Excited Star. And then there's the weird bullshit. Oh, I didn't even talk about how bullshit the Anotman openers are now that people are trying to like pre-pull Anotman, and like you have to time it with server ticks, and when your tank pulls, or you have to face pull it yourself to time it in order to get an optimized rotation. No job should ever have to use third-party tools to sync up with server ticks to get their most out of their rotation.
Yeah. Anotman fucking sucks in general. I really don't like it.
I like it conceptually. I don't like what people use it for.
I mean, kind of what they have to use it for is the problem.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They also should change its thing, so instead of just standing there, you're like cracking your knuckles the whole time.
I think like part of what they could do for Monk in general is like my conceptual idea of like, I mean, I actually started to do it for like Summoner, right? So like I've always thought that Summoner in its ideal form, when they get it there at some point, is you have summon windows where you're using different summons, and they've sort of gone there nowish, but like the idea is like my original idea was just because I was playing it a lot in 2.0, and I was like, man, there is no reason to ever use anyone but Ifrit ever. And they've gone around that by making Garuda AoE, but there's no reason to use Titan ever now.
Yeah.
And I always thought like, well, yeah, like just have it be like your moves are this summon for a while, and then it switches to this one, and your moves change to this or whatever. And I feel like Monk should be that, like just maybe change how Grease Lightning works or something, and the higher Grease Lightning stacks you get, and they reset at some point, or you reset it at some point for a reason, and the moves change depending on what stacks you're in.
Yeah.
Or something.
But
like I feel like there's so much they could do.
As it stands now, just to like shut up about Monk, because we've been talking about it for literally 15 minutes or so, but they designed the job in 2.0, and they have like built upon it in a really bad way, as opposed to like Black Mage, where they built it in 2.0 and have made it really good each expansion.
Well, like you said, Yoshi P plays one, so
yeah. My favorite job to play though, is probably Gunbreaker and Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the survey that went out?
No.
Oh, there was a big survey that was asking job feel, or like what people's opinions on jobs were, and you share the same opinion for like least liked and most liked.
Oh, least liked is Monk and most liked is Gunbreaker?
Yep, they separated it into hardcore and casual players. And it was the same for both.
Oh my god. Gunbreaker feels really good. I'm rating on it. Because last tier, I was the Dark Knight, and the other Dark Knight main had to play like Samurai, And so this time they're playing tank, and I was like, okay, I should let them play Dark Knight because I played it last time. So I'm playing Gunbreaker now, and it works out. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think they nailed it really well.
Yeah, they just give us that Devil Trigger in 6.0, and that's really all I need. Oh, also, make it so that the AoE gauge spender, Fated Circle, you get that earlier, because having to wait till level 72 to get it really sucks.
I feel like they should just make more bullet moves that are cooler in general.
Yeah.
Probably.
Also, give us a third charge in the cartridge. It's
Yes.
weird only having two, because it's just really weird. I'd even be fine if there was like a temporary one where it's like you have two that you can carry on forever, but then the third one you can only hold it for like 10 seconds. That would be fine. As far as the job changes that they've added, I think the biggest job change is obviously like the ninja one. And that to me proves that they can like completely rework how a job systems work. I don't know if you remember in Stormblood when they added the dragon eyes for Dragoon, and you had to get like 4 of them before you could go into Life of the Dragon. And then at some point in Stormblood, they were like, okay, maybe dragons only have to get 3 eyes. And then in Shadowbringers, they were like, actually, dragons only have 2 eyes. We remember now. This was a plot point in Heavensward, so now you only have to get 2 eyes to do your Life of the Dragon stuff. And then Dragoon feels so much better, because you don't have to keep track of which jumps give you which eyes. It's just high jump. It's the only one. But like with Ninja, the changes there, like the Mudras feel a lot better now. I know some people wanted to be able to weave the Mudras in between their rotation, but to me it just feels just fine, especially since they boosted the potencies of all the ninjutsus, so it doesn't feel like...
And it's, it works, it lines up so it's fine using it whenever, as opposed to like the way it was before was just like you stopped to do ninjutsu or whatever and had to weave it way harder than it used to, or than you do now.
And now it's more flexible and you can basically do it whenever.
Yeah, having 2 charges especially is great. It's a great change. Kasatsu's kind of lame now though.
Yeah, I missed the guaranteed crit, but you know what? I'll take not having it if it means the job itself gets bigger potencies overall.
Sure.
I also still love how Assassinate has like animation locks, so you can just completely fuck yourself over if you're not careful.
Yep.
And Shikuchi is still really great. It's the best movement skill in the game, IMO.
I like the backstep for Samurai, which, I mean, hey, remember in Ruby Weapon when I was cool? Like, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, you did a cool thing in Ruby Weapon when we were progging that one time, where, like, I saw you were getting sucked into the ground with, like, a faction, and you used the Samurai dash move to get yourself out of it. That was the coolest shit I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody do that at that point.
Hey, you should have seen me when I was raiding and doing all the backstep shit. It was great. Like Black Hole for X-Death, it was like, yep, fucking out of here.
I just like Shikuchi because it's the only one where you can like choose where to go from wherever. Like it's not like Black Mage where you have to go where someone else is, and it's not like any of the melees where you can either go to the enemy or you can go directly in a line away from them. You can just go wherever. But are there any other jobs that have changed significantly that you feel like strong feelings about?
Not really. I did finally play Machinist all the way to 80 now, and I really, really like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it probably as much as Dancer.
Machinist is a fun one because like they added so many things where like you have an AoE and a single target version, but then there's no like droid you can summon that's an AoE droid.
Yeah, that is definitely a weird thing that they removed for some reason to me. Like, because, like you said, that's really weird.
But you like it more than Dancer, or you like it less than Dancer?
No, I like it the same as Dancer, and I really like Dancer. I use Dancer as basically my second job.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people who like playing Dancer a lot, which is another... Gunbreaker Dancer, really good jobs. Really nailed it.
I think if they just changed a couple things with Red Mage also, I think, well, I think in Stormblood in general, like, Red Mage was, like, maybe a little broken with its raises, but, like, it was, I thought that they did a great job with it, and, in Samurai, too. Whereas opposed to Heaven's Sword, where they fucked all of them really bad for a very long time.
God. Remember the weird thing with Heaven's Word where, like, Dark Knight had skills that you could only activate if you parried, and Machinist had like an RNG rotation, and then Astro was entirely RNG. Wasn't it weird how like they design like their design for all of the Heavensward jobs was RNG?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Like it makes sense for Astro, but it doesn't make sense for Machinist and Dark Knight at all.
No, not at all.
Overall, I think discounting Monk, all the jobs are really fun to play. And maybe discounting Bard too, because I haven't played Bard.
I hate Bard also. Bard is my second least favorite.
I hear Bard players hate Bard too, because apparently the songs don't stack, so having two Bards sucks.
Yep.
That seems
I think the songs in general fucking suck, because every other class for the most part either has like a very simple like either has a small amount of buttons so that it's easier for them to transition to the next thing, or they automatically transition to the next phase of their rotation through the moves they're doing, whereas the songs you just have to apply the song and its own button and everything, and it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's really weird. So yeah, it looks like Monk and Bard have to go back to the drawing board, but everybody else is okay.
Yeah, genuinely I think this is the best the game has been in terms of balance. I think they've done a phenomenal job.
But we didn't talk about one other job that they updated in 5.1, which is our favorite job, Blue Mage.
Oh, right. Yes. The job even they have made me forget, shockingly.
Yeah. Well, like, we don't have to spend a lot of time here because, like,
there's not that much to say
there's
anyway,
not that much,
right?
but, like, Blue Mage actually feels like a really fun job to play in 5.1, and it, like, people, I still see party finders, like, of people trying to unlock Blue Mage spells and do Blue Mage achievements and stuff. It's almost like the job was, like, they're almost there to the point where they're going to admit to themselves that we should let players do MSQ with this, because once they do, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
I'll just do that. You know me. I love fucking...
Yeah.
I think, like, one of the problems right now is that they had a good idea, which was the using old content with all Blue Mage parties or whatever as incentive, like with rewards and stuff, but they did not get all the way there with healer and tank stuff from Blue Mage. That I think that's particularly well reasoned for some of the harder challenges. Like, if you're a tank as a Blue Mage doing the raids that they want you to for the Malboro mount, you're not having a good time. I'll tell you that from firsthand experience.
I liked playing tank Blue Mage, but it is definitely way more boring than anything else in the game.
Your options are just so limited that, like, it's like your solution to almost every single mechanic that's going to happen to you isn't how other tanks have to think about things. It's just, I'm going to press diamond back, hope I have the mana. Like,
yep. So they need to go back to the drawing board for tank Blue Mage, but
yeah,
caster DPS Blue Mage rules.
Oh yeah, like it has a rotation now, basically. Like it has like reasons to use different moves and stuff like that, even though they have similar things with elemental stuff. Like,
yeah, but you get to choose what you want, though, is the cool part.
Yeah.
So no other job gets to do that. Like, you can't go like, oh, I'm going to be Monk, but I'm going to do Fists of Lightning instead
I'm going to be the Frost Mage.
I'm going to be the Frost Mage. I'm going to summon Titan. I'm going to be a Titan summoner only. Only chicken nuggets here.
You say they don't let you do that, but I don't know. I see. I
have seen it. I have encouraged people to do it, but like when people are being serious, when people are like wanting to clear content, you don't get that option. But Blue Mage, you can come in here and whatever fucking elemental spells you want, as long as you've got like one of each, basically. You just need an astral one, an umbral one, and a physical one. That's why I like playing a tank Blue Mage, is because the tank is the one who uses Condensed Libra, because they have the rotation space to use it, and I love Condensed Libra so much.
It's great.
It's so good for a tank skill specifically to have. It's like
great for Blue Mage. Like, that's such a fun idea.
So, They haven't said anything about more Blue Mage content in 5.3, which is weird because they said that like there's not going to be another ultimate in 5.3, and it felt like because they said in 4.5 that
They had
they
like
added
200 spells or something ready.
yeah. Well, they also said that like they did Blue Mage, and Blue Mage stopped Stormblood from having like a third ultimate fight basically because they did Bahamut in 4.1, and then they did what was the other one? Ultimate Weapon in 5. Or 4.3, and then they didn't do one in 4.5 because they were focused on Blue Mage because the guy who designed those fights also did Blue Mage, I guess. And then in 5.1 they added more Blue Mage stuff, but then 5.3, but they also added Alexander Ultimate, and then 5.3 they said there's not going to be an Ultimate fight, but there's also no Blue Mage stuff, so I'm very confused. But so they haven't said, but that's not to say that there's not going to be Blue Mage content in 5.3, but we don't know. I'd love for there to be more Blue Mage content because we only have two more updates to Blue Mage before it's at level 80.
Yep.
And
Plus, I think like I'm really excited to do Blue Mage Shadowbringers content. I want to get to that like right away. Like I think there's a lot of fun moves that the mobs do.
Yeah.
That can be really cool.
I still want Goblin Punch. Give us Goblin Punch.
They'll probably give us Goblin Punch in the Shadowbringers one, right?
Yeah, from the Hobgoblin.
From the Hobgoblins, yeah.
So we did this. We did Blue Mage. How about
Oh, wait. Hold on.
what up?
The Blue Mage story was bad. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, it hasn't really improved.
I'd say it even went backwards is the problem. I'd say that like they undid all the character development that the man had.
Yeah, he's still like a
They made him like a money man again.
the screenshot where he's pointing at you and he goes, Blue Mages can do everything as long as it's not in Duty Finder and it's not MSQ and it's not anything higher than level 60 content. Yeah. Is there any stuff you want to talk about specifically with Shadowbringers overall, like the MSQ stuff that they've added in 5.1 and 2 and where that's going?
Yeah, I think that the MSQ has been fine. I think that's my take on it. I think it's good, but Shadowbringers was very mind-blowingly good. So I've been a little let down by that. I do think 5.2 was much stronger than 5.1.
Yes.
But at the same time, I feel like one of the issues is, so in Storm, let's compare it to Stormblood or Heavensward, right? Very clear idea of where we were going to finish up the expansion. Like, it made, like, yes, figured something was going to happen with the Yotsuyu, even if it wasn't specifically that. Figured, like, we're going to fight Nidhogg or whatever. I have no fucking clue what we're going to do here. Like, like, how are they going to bring it to an end cap with what we have going on right now? Like, I appreciate us getting a little more Elidibus conversations and stuff like that. And I really, really like the scene in 5.2 where Elidibus is pretending to be Ardbert and you confront him in the forest.
God, that's very funny. Yeah,
I love
really
that.
Funny.
You hold out your fist and he's like, "What's up?"
What's funny about that dialogue option is I thought it meant I was going to deck him across the face. I thought I was going to punch him. And it's like, oh, no, they're referencing that scene in Shadowbringers. Wait, that makes more sense. Because it would have just been funny to deck him. The weird thing, too, is they've given Elidibus a voice actor now. And do you remember the ending scene in Heavensward where Elidibus is on the moon with Ardbert? They actually gave him, they actually voiced that scene now. You can go back and watch it, and he's got voice acting. Yeah, it's really wild, especially because he doesn't have voice acting for all of his scenes. Even the ones where he's like by himself, he just has it for that one moment. So they went back and did like some of the Elidibus stuff.
That makes sense for that specific scene, huh? I guess.
Yeah. But I love that attention to detail where they're willing to go back to old content and update it. Kind of wish they would do that with Gaius, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Well, you know what? I would say we talk about more MSQ stuff, but we can also talk about that before we go. A good transition you gave us. The changes they're making are finally coming for
yes,
A Realm Reborn
God.
content.
MSQ changes. Oh, geez, these are. As somebody who has played through 2.0 a lot on various alts because I'm a wild bastard man, I'm excited because I can speedrun 2.0 basically, and if I have the Road to 70 buff, I can do it in under 20 hours. But they're cutting 16% of the quests, and the quests that you still have to do, they're going to be less like fetch questy. And they're adding flying to the Realm Reborn zones that
Hell
don't
yeah.
require you to get fucking Aether Currents. They just require you to finish the 2.0 like Ultima Weapon fight. I'm excited. I'm excited to immediately go through and see what changes they added.
I'm excited to finish the finally leveling my other alts because I have never leveled an alt because I can't do what you do. I can't do it. I'm not strong enough.
I have too much power. No, it's mostly because I like playing on different data centers and
Yeah.
seeing what the cultures there is like. Because I play on Balmung mostly, but I like playing on other places and seeing how people do things over there. And plus, I have friends who are on other data centers, so it's nice to have like leveled characters on other stuff. Although I don't actually have, I have one character who's through 5.0, and that's my dwarf alt. So, because like I do like making characters in games like this. Like I always like making like one character of each race gender combo or like one character of each class. But this game is especially not conducive to doing that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a bit more conducive to doing that. They are also making the Crystal Tower raids mandatory for completion, which
They should have done that before, probably.
yeah, they should have just done it before, and I kind of like it because a lot of people are thinking that since you also had to do the Evilise raids to do the Resistance quest weapons, it's possible that those are also going to be tied in. Because that's the other weird thing with like the Shadowbringers quest line is it's going to be wrapped up in 5.3, right? And how it wraps up is anybody's guess at this point. But once we're in 6.0, it's not going to be like Heaven's Word and Stormblood where we keep going back to those areas to do more stuff. We might go back to the first on occasion, but we're never going to go back to the first for plot reasons, really. You know? Because it's an entirely separate world that's disconnected from the rest of it.
We're just going to blow up the Universal's concept of different, like, worlds and stuff and just fuse it. Whatever. Who cares? Now, instead of, I don't know, let's see. Instead of Mordona, we just have the entirety of the first right there.
Oh, shit.
Goodbye, Ishgard. Who needs it?
Oh, my God.
Actually,
just
honestly,
finished-
goodbye, Ul'dah. Who needs that? I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. Fuck you, capitalists.
Fuck that whole desert. Nothing good happens there.
The Amalja are okay.
They are, but then the other Amalja are not okay.
They're not okay. But yeah, like the MSQ changes, the fucking flying zones is the thing that really fucking shatters everything. Like, because those areas were not designed with flying in mind. And have you done any out of bounds stuff in the 2.0
Yeah.
areas?
Yeah, and the South Shroud, or the East Shroud, was the big one.
Yeah, I've done them in like all over. Like most of them have been closed up by now, but the one that still works is the one in western Lenosha, near the entrance to Sestasha. There's like some little pillars you can jump up, and you can get up on top of the plateau that's above Sestasha, and it's really trippy over there. But you're going to be able to fly there, so this means to me one of two things. And based on the screenshot they have of Mordona, it kind of means that, like, one, they're going to remodel a lot of the areas so that it looks nicer while you're flying, because some of those areas just aren't modeled on the back, because why would they when players aren't going to see that ever? But the other thing is that those areas might have lower flight ceilings than you're used to in the expansion areas, because, it's just a lot easier if you just restrict the altitude of the players, so you don't have to remodel as much.
Yeah.
And then they also mentioned that like the actual collision isn't going to change that much. Like you're not going to be able to fly over the Lake of Mordona. You're not going to be able to go over and see Midgardsarmor's corpse or whatever, which is a bit disappointing, but also like I get it. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I want to see if they're going to change the big thing that I thought they were going to change, which is the whole big quest line leading up to Titan.
I imagine they must, right?
Because like the big thing for me was like you basically go to like 5 different people and they give you 3 different fetch quests which require you to go out into the world, then come back, then go out, then come back, then go out, then come back. And if they just gave you all of those back to back to back, so you could just go out into the world once, do those 3 things, then come back, it would have been much faster. So I wonder if that's what they're going to do, if they're just going to remove those fetch quests entirely and they only just require you to like get a thing from a person then move on. Like you're just going to teleport to Camp Tranquil in South Shroud, talk to the Ellison dude, and then fuck off to the Forgotten Springs immediately after. So, but we'll see. I'll have an update probably in the next episode of this podcast, because I'm going to go through on my Samurai alt, I think. So, which is going to be funny because she won't be able to unlock Samurai until level 50, but that's what Road to 70's for.
Yeah, it's for that purpose that you're using it for sure.
It's definitely not for trying to get new players into the game. It's definitely, or to like repopulate new or underserviced servers. It's definitely for people like me who play like a billion alts. Don't play this game like I do, people. I mean, if you want to go for it, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah, unless you really want to.
Yeah, it's great doing at least once if you just bought a story skip and you want to like see all the MSQ stuff. It's worth doing it once in that case, I think. But don't feel like you have to. Like if you bought a story skip, a lot of that stuff you can just kind of get the cliff notes of.
Yeah.
So, but going back to like the Shadowbringers MSQ, I know a lot of people were angry at the end of 5.2 because like it seemed very obvious what Elidibus' plans were for what he was doing, and people were like mad that the Scions couldn't see what the writing on the wall of what he was doing, which leads me to believe that either he's not going to do that and he's going to do something else, and it's just set up to make you think he's going to do that, or something far worse is going to happen. So like, you're right in that like the thing that he's going to do is going to happen, which is we're going to have a whole bunch of Warriors of Light again, and that's going to cause another flood. But it's going to be far worse than that. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Because like the new dungeon we're getting kind of doesn't really tell us anything, and the only other information we have is that the new trial isn't going to be another weapon fight. It's just going to be like a
MSQ
story trial,
Minstrel's Ballad thing.
Yeah, we're gonna fight Graha. Watch.
Why? No, don't say that.
Well, I have a feeling whether or not we fight Graha, I have a feeling that the next trial mount is going to be the Crystal Gwibber.
Probably.
So, but we'll see.
The dungeon's called like the Hero's Gauntlet or something, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
really
cool.
weird. It reminds me of Disney's Hercules a bit.
Oh, like speaking of, I found like Academia Nider is like okay, but like I was expecting, based on what they had said about it, like it to be way crazier than it was. I think it gave us some interesting lore about like where we're going, let's say, with certain Amarot stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about Anamnesis a Night, or
Oh
not
yeah,
Academia.
I'm sorry, Academia is the
just to be clear. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, Ananesis. Yeah, I think it was cool that they basically just made Sastasha, but in level 80.
It literally, I got Sastasha on a leveling roulette once, and I didn't realize that the Anamnesis song is literally just the Sastasha song, like the opening, but it's like a full song. God, that's so cool. They made Sastasha, but cool.
They did.
My only problem with that dungeon is they said that like there was going to be stuff in the dungeon that would be different. Like you would go through that dungeon the first time, and then all the subsequent times it would be different. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is different? Because there isn't really anything that's different.
Well, I assumed what they meant was that you would look at it in a different way. And the only way I can see that as being true is if they meant that you notice it's Sastasha.
Sure.
But, like, that's not the tone that they were giving when they were saying that either. It seemed like they were implying like there was some fucked up story shit that you would just figure out or something.
Yeah. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. That dungeon also has one of my top 10 favorite dungeon bosses, the first one, Unknown.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a really good design.
FF7 model.
It is, and you can tell because it's incredibly fucked up.
Everything in FF7, God.
So you mentioned earlier about like getting rid of Ishgard, and I was gonna say like, but we've just finished restoring Ishgard. How do you feel about the Ishgard restoration that they've added in 1 and 2?
I think the Ishgard restoration is like pretty good. I think they fixed it this time around, because I feel like I was telling you when we were doing our Ill-Begotten 5.1 podcast that I was like sort of negative. Like I loved the idea, I loved the concept, I loved the basic like gist of it, but then I felt like in practice it was pretty flawed. I think they really came together and fixed it this time around.
I think the big issue with the first iteration was that a lot of people would show up and go like, where do I turn in the gathering stuff? And people would, like, the entire shout chat would just say, you don't, you either sell it on the market board or you use it to craft with. And a lot of people were disappointed because there was just nothing for gatherers to do in the first thing, which was fine for me because I was just using that to level up gatherers, while also just like I would go out and get like 1,000 of each material and then craft a bunch of like things for each crafter that I was leveling, because I was able to level up all my crafters basically to 80 in that first batch, and then I basically just didn't bother touching it afterwards. But the second iteration of the Ishgard restoration, where they added the diadem where you can actually get points for gathering, and instead of going off to like random whatever locations to get materials, like I remember being in the steppe again to just collect a whole bunch of snakes to put in my pocket or whatever to craft into like snake oil basically. Now you just go to the diadem and you get everything there, and the bazooka thing is really cool.
Yeah.
And we're not just building tents in like the foyer of the firmament now, we're actually building like the bridges and the houses and shit. So
I think like to expand on the gathering thing, I think the best thing is that something that's been very divorced in this game so far has been the actuality of like end game crafter stuff being like whenever they've created a system that is just crafting outright, like collectibles, or the Beats Tribe stuff, or the custom deliveries. Whenever they've created a system like this before, gathering and crafting have been considered completely different. And this one, I think they thread the needle perfectly, because the things you gather, you use for crafting, but also you can sell it if you're just someone who only gathers and doesn't want to craft. If you're someone who does both, you get rewarded for it because you get a ton of points for gathering, and then you get a ton of the points for crafting the stuff that you gathered. Like, I think it's perfect. Like, I'm so glad that they finally nailed it.
And it's also story-wise very perfect as well, because like you're gathering stuff in the diadem, which is an area specific to like Ishgard, with like because you used to have to go to Ishgard to go to do the diadem voyages and stuff back in like Heavensward, which I really liked but definitely had some issues. And it's really cool that they've repurposed that entire area, so that area is not just lost to time. Like it's very different now, but it's still cool that it's there. It didn't just stop existing. And then like you're specifically going there to gather stuff for Ishgard.
Yeah,
And then
we're,
you're also crafting stuff for Ishgard.
yeah, like the thing that was really stupid when the Ishgard Restoration launched is you were gathering a ton of stuff from like the Ruby Sea or the First, which was really
It was very funny in the item descriptions because it's like you could have just gotten any wheat, but you decided to go all the way to the first to be a show off, which
Yeah.
it's funny, but like
it's funny,
no.
but to use the classic term ludonarrative dissonance.
Yes. So it's much nicer to just have all the stuff you need to gather in one area too. And then gathering in that action is very fun because like gathering's always been like a very like therapeutic zen. What are some other buzzwords I can use? Sort of just like you can turn off your brain and just gather and you don't really have to think too much about it. Which is fine. Like gathering doesn't have to have like a weird
Yeah.
mini game, and it doesn't have to have like it doesn't have to be like super intensive. Because if you want super intensive gameplay, like that's what the combat jobs are for. You know, that's what the high end duties are for.
But like, I do. My only complaint with the diadem is just that all the nodes are way too far apart from each other.
Yeah, I also don't like how you basically have to go around in a circle around the entire map.
Yes. Yeah.
I really feel like they should have made it so that each
Well-
island had specific resources.
See, so I actually like the idea of that, like the idea of you making a lap. My problem is that there aren't enough nodes, so it just feels bad. It feels like you're just doing that because they decided you to. Whereas I feel like if they, dare I say, quadrupled the amount of nodes that are on any given island and kept that the same way, I think it would feel a lot better.
Yeah, they spaced them out so people wouldn't just be inundated with stuff, but they could have just simply like, because I think this is a situation where if they had quadrupled the nodes, but then also quadrupled the required like items needed to craft materials, people still would have enjoyed it. It still would have been fun. Because the actual gathering the stuff just feels really good, especially when you're building up those charges to use those bazookas, and then you just get a shit ton of resources from monsters. And I also really like the fun thing of trying to figure out what monsters dropped what resources. So it's really neat.
Yeah.
I remember in 5.1, my server Balmung, because we're crafting monsters, got like world first in completing the section. But this time around, it was actually the Tonberry server which did it, which is really cool. So I'm hoping like the next time they add something that a European server gets like first, but that might be a big ask. Because like, you know, time zones and when the server launches and how many people on a server are invested in doing Ishgard restoration. Because a lot of people, I wasn't as invested in the Ishgard restoration this time around because there weren't as many rewards that I really wanted. Like I basically still had a bunch of script left over from the first time. And then like, I didn't really want the sheep mount as great as it is. But I wanted the emotes. So once I got the emotes and I got some of the colored dyes, I just kind of like stopped doing anything. Which is, you know, how I treat the Ishgard restoration is like, I will get the rewards and then I will not do this content because I've already leveled all of my crafters and gatherers. If I still needed to level them, I would do them absolutely, but I don't. So they don't really, and I'm not really invested in doing the leaderboards, which was another cool thing they added this time around. Where there's like actual crafting and gathering competition that's outside of just like the marketplace.
Oh, it's so sad. One of my girlfriends got like 12th place. You saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Like, she was in 12th place and then like literally, her sub ran out and she wasn't going to sub again. And then what was his fucking name? He had like some like weird name, like Guthrie or something like that, like some just really wild name.
Yeah, I don't.
And he just came out and sniped the last spot from her.
Yeah, it was like a difference of like 100 points or something. It was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, there's always next time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the reward is basically a title.
Yeah,
There are two titles you can get.
Yeah, it's nothing like crazy or game changing or anything. Like,
yeah, which I like. You don't get like a special icon on your name. You don't get like a
clothes.
You don't get unique clothes or a unique minion. You don't even get like unique fancy gear. It's not like raiding where you get like raid gear. You just you get a title. And I think that's perfect. I think it's a perfect reward. Like I would be fine even if they gave you like a little housing item that's like a little trophy.
Yeah,
certificate.
absolutely. Yeah, I was
That would
thinking
be
of
cool.
that.
But you know what? It's fine. And like it's wild to see how many people were like they were just like minding their own business doing the diadem and suddenly they're in like 6th place and they're like, what? Because that's just how gathering is. You just turn off your brain and do shit.
Yeah, like I think it was like I was like 50th in botanist or something, and I was like, what?
Yeah. So, I think overall it's really good content. I love how it's like basically like a for all levels kind of content. Like you have to be, there's like a minimum level you have to be to really participate, but
Just for the ranking stuff, though.
Yeah, just for the ranking stuff, like it's just like just do shit.
Yeah,
It's great.
I think it's a great. I think they really nailed it. I think that in the past I have had a very worrying opinions of them over time because like most of the time when they've made content really bad well, I mean it wasn't really bad at first, but you know, like very clunky, very amateurish stuff. At first, they never recover. Like right, like I don't think Eureka ever recovered. I mean, the diadem definitely never recovers.
I do know people liked the Baldessian Arsenal with Eureka, but that was basically the highlight of Eureka.
And even
That's
that
what
had
people
its
say.
problems, right, with how you accessed it.
Yes.
It was just, yeah.
So,
I think that this is really Shadowbringers in general has shown me like I think I have a much more positive opinion of their ability to expand upon their ideas and do good by them.
but yeah, the Ishgard Restoration has been a really great resource for leveling, crafting, gathering. I like how they you can still do the old recipes, but they don't really they still give you experience. They just don't really give you like sky script, as I call it. But like the new recipes are basically just those recipes, but they're grade 2 now, which is very funny.
Yeah.
And then the rewards this time around, like they added this like Kupo scratch off ticket thing, which is
It's
very
great.
funny.
It's a great mechanic. I was really initially worried about it, but I think that the way they did it is quite good.
Yeah.
Although I do have the bias of I literally almost have the last achievement for getting the first prize or whatever, and I only played for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got really lucky with your Koopa scratch offs.
Yeah, I got on my first one ever. I got the Dalmal, and then the second one I got the Koopa outfit. It was just like, okay.
Hell yeah.
And the Koopa outfit, I really like the jacket for because it's like a Moogle gang jacket almost.
Almost. I really like the hat. It's really cute.
Oh, the hat is cute. Yeah. I think the whole outfit's pretty neat. At least it gives you good, since they made it like modular, multiple parts and stuff.
Yeah. A friend of mine got like the Diable like red mage gear from Varus, dyed it black, and then wore like the Kupo pants with it, and it looked so sick. So you can do a lot of really cool stuff with that outfit. And like that's the thing that a lot of people like too, is like the original, like the coveralls and stuff that people got for the first Ishgard Restoration. Like this is a great way to add like glamour that people can get, because
Yeah.
and then the mounts are really cool, and
The minion stuff. The little baby. What's the one they added this time?
they added the Pisces, and then they added the
Yes.
I think there's the achievement ones are the little crocodile,
The crocodile and like a dinosaur, right? Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I think the whole thing, they really nailed it. That's what I think. I'm very positive on this.
and I am glad that Diadem finally has a home and a purpose again.
Yeah, and for once, I think this one will stick. Like, I think as long as they update it each time or whatever, change the materials or whatever.
And it's great that they're adding this while they're doing all of the crafting changes too, because oh man, crafting is rules so fucking much now. It's a lot easier, it's a lot more straightforward, and they expanded upon it by making crafting regular shit easier, but it's made more difficult if you don't have high quality materials, which incentivizes you to actually get those high quality materials, so those are more valuable. But then they also made, like with the Ishgard, like the expert recipes where they have an RNG element so you can't just macro them. Because I know there's a lot of people who use like crafting macros when they're crafting like hundreds of things at a time, which like a whole new system for crafting to like make like a competitive component to it. Because those are, you only ever do the expert recipes if you want to like get on the crafting leaderboard basically. And it's really cool that they like were able to do that. Because I didn't really expect them to like change the crafting rotations all that much, and now like stuff's just a lot more simplistic. You don't have like a bunch of different synthesis skills that you basically never use.
That also reminds me that the trial recipes that they added are really good too, and they're expanding it in 5.3.
Yeah. It's weird how many crafting changes we're getting, considering like how many monk changes we're not getting, but you know.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I guess monk does have to do like other content. It's not just like, oh, you have to craft this log, but now the log's from a fancy magic tree or whatever. My only thing with the Ishgard restoration is I'm hoping that like, because this is kind of like the Dome and Enclave stuff that we had in Stormblood.
Yeah.
Where we're helping rebuild an area, but instead of like Dome and Enclave was basically like a method for generating gil if you don't really like do crafting or gathering, or you just have excess stuff you just want to sell that you don't really want to like desynth or whatever. Whereas like Ishgard is way more involved because it's got crafting gathering components, and you do have to do actual gameplay instead of just accumulating like refuse in your inventory. I'm hoping they continue this trend of letting us like rebuild areas, because it's really cool. Because I came into the game after like Mordona had already, or like not Mordona, but Revenant's Toll was completed, and I came into Heavensward after Idleshire was already completed, and it's been really nice to see areas get built up over time and like actually get to be there for it. And I hope that they continue doing that for a lot of other areas. Like, you know, I'm a biased Alamigo fucker, so it'd be cool if we could get like rebuilding Alamigo in terms of like, actually getting the city. That would be cool. But like, I'd be fine if they were like, hey, we're gonna rebuild Rabanastre. I'd be down for that. Hey, we're gonna rebuild like, I don't know, some shit on the first, like
Mordona.
God. Hey, we're going to turn this castrum into something that's not a castrum.
Honestly, though, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. So, I just want them to do more of the rebuilding stuff, because it's a really cool way to get, like, the whole community together invested in stuff, and then also you can do a bunch of really cool stuff with that. So, it's nice to, like, create something in a game where you, like, kill a bunch of monsters and people, you know?
Oh, for sure. It helps feel like one of the best parts of Final Fantasy XIV is just that consistent journey and like attachment you get to your character and how they interact with the world. It really adds so many layers to everything. Like, I feel like one of the things when we were making our arguments for Game of the Year on our site here, and like we're just conveying plot points, it's like it's so much easier to feel disconnected from that if you don't have these years and years of, you know, like weight put behind it.
Yeah.
And all that stuff just adds to that.
Because like to people on the outside would come into this and go like, okay, you're rebuilding like a district in the city that got destroyed by a war. Okay, that's cool, I guess, but like there's no investment of like why the war happened, like how it impacted like this entire community for like 1,000 years, and there's not enough weight to it if you weren't there to experience it. So, because like imagine the people who are getting to like, because you can't do the Ishgard restoration until you finish 3.3,
Right.
So people who are doing the Ishgard restoration at least have a baseline like of connection with what they're doing there. You can't just like waltz on in to like Ishgard for the first time and just immediately start picking up your hammer and going to work. So
I think it's fine if they keep doing it as the expansions go on. Like, everyone who's playing will eventually get their time, with it.
yeah. And I'm fine with them doing like older areas, newer areas, areas from previous expansions, areas that we previously couldn't access. Like, what if we were rebuilding Castra Meridianum into like a, I don't know, like not necessarily like a fortress, but like a science center or whatever. Like, we're building a museum, but it's in where Castra Meridianum used to be. That'd be cool.
I think there's a lot they could do.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, like, it is a bummer if people miss out on it. But, like, hey, this is still way better than what Destiny does.
Oh boy.
Like, I don't know if you know how much Destiny does, but they put, like, incredibly important story cutscenes and events that no one can access anymore and stuff like that. Like, people could only access for, like, one day of a week 3 years ago.
That's not fun.
Or, like, gameplay changing stuff locked in the past. It's really bad. I'm glad that we haven't had anything really like that. I do wish, actually, this is a good transition to a little tiny mini rant I want to go on. Which is that I wish that the Mog Station did not exist.
Yeah.
It's gotten really bad.
Sure has.
I think what's really bringing this is the past month or so of their Mog Station releases. Is like the Easter event happened, and don't get me wrong, the Easter event had like whatever, the rabbit suit. It's fine enough a reward, but they put the Spriggan mount on the Mog Station for like $20-something.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and then
bad.
like just now they released a Titania themed outfit, which is like, well, why wasn't that, like, that feels like if this had been 3.0, the Titania outfit would have been like the Nath outfit that they released.
Yeah, you would have gotten it as part of the Pixie Quest line.
Yeah,
basically.
like it's really bad. That's all I want to say. I'm very disappointed in how they keep making that stuff worse and worse.
Yeah.
And the holiday stuff's really bad, especially because I remember when I started playing the game, I started like playing significantly like 1 year or so after the game launched, or like a little bit after. Like, I missed the first summer event basically, and then
Right.
I went and played the second summer event, and I could buy all the stuff from the first summer event, and it was great. And same thing with all the other events. I could just go to a vendor and buy the stuff from the last year's event. And now it's like,
I wish that's how it worked.
yeah, wouldn't that be great? Like, that now you just have to pay like $10. It's just like, there's the argument to be made that you're paying the sub cost, right? But I fuck that argument. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You should just be able to go and get it. It's stupid.
What we're saying is we need to nationalize Final Fantasy XIV.
Unironically, yes.
Unironically, yes, do it. Oh god. Yeah, I really wish they could let you get like, because I wanted to do this cool thing where we were just gonna do like a really funny like alliance roulette, and I was on Monk and everybody was gonna go on Dancer, and they were all gonna dance partner me. And I tried to get everybody to wear like the endless summer sunglasses, because it's just like a funny, like they're just regular ass sunglasses that you could wear. And it'd be a very funny thing if we had like organized a glamour around this, where it's like, oh, it's me and my dancing squad. And then there were people, and like most of the people didn't have that outfit, and it's like, oh well, that sucks.
It's bad. It's not good.
I want to talk about raiding real quick.
Go for it. You're the raid man over here. I did one Eden raid Savage, and then that was it.
Which one did you do?
I literally did E1 Savage.
Oh,
I cleared it, and then that was it.
Yeah, I raid with a group called the 08th Magitech team, which is a great name because it's a reference to the 08th MS team, which is a Gundam season, a very short one. They're based on Brynhildr, and we cleared E1S, and then I did a whole bunch of Ruby fights with them, which is the whole thing of me ending up just doing Ruby and getting the fucking dragon. But we've been doing the new Eden's Verse raids. We've cleared the first fight, E5S, like 5 times now. We started it pretty late because we wanted to make sure everybody had the Ruby weapons. And it's like a casual group. Like, we're not raiding like multiple times a week, and we're not raiding like multiple hours a day. It's just kind of like, maybe 2 hours a week. So I'm pretty pleased with our progress. We're currently doing E6S prog, and we've gotten to Rakta like a couple times. It was really weird because we got to Rakta within like 4 pulls, and then but we didn't get to Rakta within 4 pulls with like people alive to actually do mechanics is the thing. So, but I've been raiding on Gunbreaker this patch. It's really fun. Because Superb Light is a very funny ability.
It certainly is.
There's raiding again with a group is really nice because there's a bunch of little jokes you get. Like, the joke is like tank noises, because whenever I know that I'm about to eat shit and die if I don't get healed, instead of going I need healing like Genji Overwatch, I'll go and then they just call it tank noises. So if you've ever been interested in getting into raiding, folks, there's like a recruitment subreddit, but also just like if you have friends or if you have like an FC, just ask around and see who wants to hop in, because I don't recommend getting into hardcore raiding like right off the bat. Just start out casual. Like, yeah. I mean, hell, like, you try Party Finder, and like the best time to try Party Finder for raiding is when a patch just launched, and you can go in and make up mistakes and just kind of learn what the fight is, because it's really fun raiding with a group of people who just like, there's not a lot of stress, there's not a lot of like expectation. You're just going to go in, you're going to have a good time. If you fuck up, like, whatever, because like raiding isn't difficult unless you're doing like the ultimate fights. Like, there is an expectation of performance, there's an expectation of like knowing how your job works, knowing how things like a stack marker works. But even if you're just like, you're going to watch guides online and then you're just going to practice with a group and you're not going to try to like blind prog the fights, it's still fun. And it's also made me think of like, part of the reason I didn't do the Titania and Innocence fights in 5.0 and 5.1 was because like I wasn't planning on raiding, so I didn't care to get like a higher eye level on those jobs, because like I didn't need the eye level because I wasn't raiding. But now that I am raiding, it's like, oh shit, I gotta cap tomes, I gotta do Ruby weapon, I gotta get better gear and the stuff. But this raid tier, like, the first fight itself was kind of cool, but now it's just kind of boring. The best mechanic, in my opinion, is Chain Lightning, because there's basically 2 strategies you can do it. They're called like Circle and Triangle, and PF does like Triangle a bunch because it's technically easier, because if you do it correctly, only 2 people have to move. But Circle's actually way more easier because you just have 4 people not move, and then you have the other 4 people just move back and forth, and it looks really cool when you do it properly. And plus everybody's like stacked up together basically around the boss, so it's easier for like, say, white mages to do cure 3 for the raid wide attack that's going out. But it just really feels fun to like perform correctly. But the rest of the fight is just like, stand here, do this thing. I really don't like the 14 spears mechanic in that fight, because I basically I press Superb Allied, I press a duty action, and then we all kind of just stand in our spots and then do the mechanic, with only the ranged people being able to continue DPSing there.
That's a big problem I have in general with raid design, and I don't know how you really improve that, because they tried once already with making ranged people into casters. But it's really sucks when you just see certain fights where it's like, oh, wow, range DPS is really high in this fight. I wonder why. It's because the melee just do nothing for long periods of time.
Yeah. I mean, they can have fights like I didn't raid in AlphaScape, but I heard that AlphaScape wasn't great for melee. But then I also heard that like, when has a raid tier ever been good for melee and not ranged? You know, because like they always have to make sure that each patch like Black Mage can do it. So they have to make sure that range do get some amount of uptime. But yeah, like raiding again, because the last time I raided was in Sigmascape. I got to the second floor and cleared that with a. I was basically I subbed in for a group and then just kind of like got stapled into that group permanently as the other person left. And then once that group disbanded, I kind of just like took a break from raiding. But doing it again, it's really fun. I don't know, like I think if people are interested in raiding, they should definitely give it a shot. But I think raiding in general needs to have you have to go in with this mentality of like you're gonna stress about it, but try to understand that you don't really need to stress about it because like we have cleared that fight 5 times, right? The 4th time we cleared it, we one-shot the fight. The 5th time we cleared it, we had like an hour and a half of us not being able to clear the fight just because of like little mistakes or people weren't focused or, you know, I pressed Nebula and it didn't go off and I just ate shit and died. You know, like stuff happens. Just, yeah. If you like, that's why like I guess a lot of people are intimidated by raiding, but like if you do it with people, you know, it's way more enjoyable. Granted, you're going to do the fights slower because like if I wanted to, I could go into a mid-core group or like maybe apply for a hardcore group and then like actually get to like E8S prog or whatever within like a week or two. But I don't want to do that, you know? Like, and the thing is, I don't parse myself, but people have reported like logs, so I do have like logs of my character on FF logs. Apparently, I have an 89 parse on a ruby weapon clear on Gunbreaker, which is nuts to me because like one, I don't parse myself because I don't care about that shit. I'd rather focus on the fundamentals of a job before I worry about like numbers. But also too, like the only reason I have an 89 there is because I did that fight 96 times on the same job, you know, like
Of course you're gonna get better, yeah.
when you do a fight like that, when you do a fight that many times on the same job, the only thing you have to occupy your completely empty brain space is I'm going to optimize my rotation a little bit. So, like, so even if like you're worried about like, oh, I'm not really a good player, just like focus on how your job plays. And then like honestly, a lot of times when we're progging fights and raids, my biggest tip is like if you have to do a choice between doing your rotation and doing a mechanic, even if that means like stop doing your GCDs at all, do the mechanic first. Because like you can't do DPS if you're dead because you didn't do the mechanic, you know. I also really don't like the raid mount for this tier.
Yeah.
Side note.
It's very questionable.
It's funny. It's funny as hell. I just don't want it.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
I like it conceptually quite a bit, but seeing it is another story.
Like the only raid mounts I want are the two that I don't have, which is the Omega one from O12S and the Gobwalker mount from A4S.
Oh, you don't have the Gobwalker?
No, I still don't have the Gobwalker.
Oh, we can do that sometime.
I have Aradeus. I have the A12S one, but I don't have the first one. But yeah. I also don't really like any of the Eden's verse weapons, but the Eden weapons haven't been really good. There's like 1 or 2 good ones, and then like the rest are like, eh. But I'm also not a big like Final Fantasy VIII fucker, so I don't really have a lot of investment in Eden as a concept like I did Omega.
I mean, here's the thing. Final Fantasy VIII fuckers don't have a, like, passion for Eden, I don't think. Like, Eden's not part of the main story of FF8 or anything.
So like I have a friend who used to say that like he was like a big Final Fantasy fan, and he always used to say, and keep in mind this was before like 13 was a thing. He always used to say that 8 had the best story of any Final Fantasy game.
That's bold, but okay.
but his favorite one was Final Fantasy VII, and that was the one he had played the most amount of times.
That
So
that's no, you know what? No judgment. That's what I'm gonna say. No judgment. You know what? Sure.
it's just very funny with you saying like even people who are like Final Fantasy VIII fuckers aren't really that invested in Final Fantasy VIII. Like,
Well, that's not just that they're really invested in Final Fantasy VIII. It's specifically Eden, because Eden's just a summon. Like,
oh right, yeah, I can't imagine doing a whole raid tier about Thornton, to be honest.
it's like, yeah, that's basically exactly. You know what? They did do a whole expansion about Knights of the Round. Fuck. Oh man.
They did, but they didn't do a whole raid tier.
You're right. Yeah. That's the problem. They could do it with Omega because Omega's been in so many Final Fantasy games and it's always the super boss. That makes sense, you know. But like Eden's in one.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, guess what? Cruise Chaser is the fucking Eden equivalent in FF9, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking one fight. It's fine.
The Arc summon from Final Fantasy IX, which by the way is really cool that they put that in there.
Yeah, Final Fantasy IX's a good game.
Yeah, I need to play it.
You should.
Everybody I know who has played Final Fantasy IX, whether they are invested in video games or not, has said that it's their favorite video game, basically.
It's extremely good. Like, Shadowbringers really edged itself to be, like, probably my favorite Final Fantasy story, but damn, 9 is really fucking good.
All right. I'll have to check that out sometime. Right after I finish actually finishing Nier Automata.
Yes, please do finish that because I have a feeling the next one will be even more spoilers.
Oh dear. Okay. So I think we're almost about done, but let's talk about a few more things. Quality of life changes.
Yeah.
There have been so many in Shadowbringers, from jobs having their rotations smoothed out to just general things like you can have like different color UI. You can have see, the thing is, like, I'm having trouble remembering all the quality.
There's so many
because I'm so used to them by now that I don't even think about them being like changes. It feels like they've always been in the game. But like the one that, like, one of the changes is that on the free company menu, there's a button there to automatically like change the free company chat like effects, like the text color and everything. You can just do that on a button now, where you don't have to fiddle with menus.
And speaking of free companies, they also added multiple things that really made things better. Like, they added more free company ranks.
Yeah, they added like fucking 30 of them now. There's like,
yeah, with additional chest space, which, thank God.
God, it's very funny whenever I look at the thing and I see like, yes, rank 10 achieved, chest expansion, and it's like, haha, funny joke.
Yes. And then also they did something I've been asking them to do since they introduced the feature. They made it so that the company workshop only needs one person to advance it.
Yeah.
Which,
so you can be...
What were they thinking?
It's because back then they didn't have content for crafters to do, and now that they have content for crafters to do, like, that's not really a thing.
Oh, it was so fucking bad, though.
It would have been like, fine if you had to do like a little instance duty in the workshop that you needed to do a light party for, but you don't.
And also, it was just once instead of having to have them sit around for you to do it like 30 times in a row.
Mm-hmm. So, but quality of life changes that are also coming are like the party finder change, where if you're in a party with people, you can just slot your party into a PF if everybody's roles line up with what they're asking, which is nice. You don't have to all scramble individually to join the same PF group. The change that I like, which is that if you're in a cross-world party, you can still world visit, which I mentioned how my raid group is on a different server from me. If I want to go hang out with them, like, prior to raid, I have to leave the party, then world visit, and then join the party again. But now I'll just be able to join the party and then world visit, which is really nice. And then God, there's so many fucking quality of life changes. I can't even. Shadowbringers is a quality of life, is what it is. That's the change. Play Shadowbringers, improve your quality of life.
It's true though. It's really great.
What else?
I'm trying to think of, like, it's really hard to think of them all. It really is. Umbrellas.
Oh, fuck the umbrellas. Oh, by the way, that's a quality of life change that's also coming. So one, they gave us umbrellas, which are funny because they basically just work like mounts.
They work so stilted, it's insane. It's really funny.
The best thing is like pulling out your umbrella and then teleporting so that you don't have to do the little hovering
Yeah.
teleport animation. You just stand there with your umbrella as you just fucking Mary Poppins your way out. Which, by the way, they also need to let us Mary Poppins our way with the umbrellas. They need to be mounts. Let's do it. Come on. I know you're just using the umbrellas as like they use the same code as the mount. I know that's the case. Because your character disappears and reappears with the umbrella just like when you get on a mount. And it even has the little like parasol icon, just like the mounted icon when you have one out. Just make the mounts, come on. But they're also adding in 5.3, they're adding an actual like menu option for the parasols rather than them just being stuck with like the group pose and idle camera options in the menu. It's really weird. What else?
They're going to fix collectibles.
Oh yeah, you mentioned, I was going to bring this up when we were talking about crafting, but you mentioned how like collectibles was one of the things they had added that they didn't really like expand upon.
Yeah, now it's going to be specific recipes or something, so it doesn't alternate. Or maybe it alternates, but it doesn't like make you craft literally everything as a collectible or something. They were unclear about it, but that seems to be the general gist.
It's not going to affect the custom deliveries, which already have their own specific recipes that you can just get and do. It's just going to affect the actual like Rowena's House of Splendor stuff, as far as I understand it, which is nice. I mean, that's one of the other quality of life changes they did, which was one of the best ones, which is where if an item can only be valuable to the player as a collectible, then you will always craft it as a collectible whether or not you have the collector's glove active.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because how many times have you fucked up doing collectibles?
Too many times.
Too many times. It's happened to you, it's happened to me, it's happened to everybody. And now they were just like, you know what? This is stupid. We're just going to make it that this only ever gets crafted as a collectible. And now they're just fixing the other collectibles, which is nice, because I never really liked... The only thing I liked about the old collectible system is, like, dedicating a day to, like, okay, I'm going to do collectibles here, so I'm going to plot out which items I need to get to craft to, like, gather collectibles, because I always did gathering collectibles. And so I would time out where the nodes were, and then just kind of, like, spend, like... I'd get it lined up so that, like, okay, I want this one, this one, this one, and this one. So that I would be like, I'd spend 15 minutes of an hour getting those collectibles and then spend the next 45 minutes of an hour, like, watching shows or something. And then just go back and forth. That was the most fun I ever had with collectibles. But it's going to be nice that they're just going to be specific.
Oh, I know a good quality of life thing.
What's up?
They removed favors from the game completely.
Favors.
They were a 3.0 thing that you probably never had to do, where you had to go around and you had 5 minutes to gather as much as you possibly could in order to exchange for these specific crafting materials to make any of the level 60 gear.
Oh my god.
It was legitimately one of the worst things ever. I remember me and my girlfriend had to figure out the best ways we could optimize going as fast as possible, which included such things as using the broom because the broom has the fastest mount animation to get on it.
Oh my god.
It was the worst.
Yeah, that sounds horrible and bad.
They removed it completely last patch, I think.
I'm glad.
I'm glad you didn't know about it, frankly.
Yeah.
Good.
I had heard of favors. I didn't know what they entailed. I didn't know the deep dark secrets that
genuinely the worst thing. They were genuinely the worst thing ever.
Okay, so the last two things we could talk about is stuff that's coming in 5.3. Sorry for this, like, being a bit scatterbrained here, but like we're just going.
We're just fucking going for it. There was so much we had to cover that it's just like whatever.
Yeah. So, so they're adding a new trial difficulty called Unreal Trials 2004. I don't know, Unreal Tournament joke. But they're having us fight Shiva again, which is annoying because like I already have to fight Shiva once every week now, and now I have to fight another version of Shiva. But it's basically just like the 2.4 Shiva.
I didn't
fight.
even think about that until you just said that. That's pretty fucked up that they picked her first for this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just wait until we have to fight Titan for the billionth time. It's basically just like the Shiva fight from 2.4, but scaled up so that you're fighting her with as a level 80 trial, basically, so you have your full kit. Conceptually, this is neat. I like this. And I get the feeling that the reason it's only Shiva is because
Shiva was the easiest extreme primal.
Well, Shiva was the easiest extreme primal, 1. 2, Shiva's already like in people's mind with like Eden 8. And 3, since it's only Shiva and not like other primals, this is sort of like a trial for this trial system. They want to see, because they also mentioned that there's only going to be 1 available per patch. But I get the feeling that if this goes over really well, they're just going to have like a rotation basically, where there will be maybe 3 Unreal trials you can do in a given time period, and then those will shift. I like the idea of fighting Shiva, but not having to use like the 2.0 moveset from a job, so that's going to be really cool. And there's also going to be specific rewards you have to do, specific rewards that you get based on performance, which seems pretty neat. But we're going to have to wait to see how this system works, because they also implied that it's going to be sort of like it's not going to work like an extreme trial where like you clear the trial, you get a token, after X amount of tokens you can spend it on a thing. It's going to work like clearing it, and depending on how well you clear it, or how many times you clear it a week, you will get access to this other thing that is like its own system. I don't remember what it was called.
The Fox is something.
Yeah. But it's like, it's one of those we're gonna have to wait until we have more information, basically. So
Yeah.
Next episode we'll probably be able to tell you how we feel about it. It's gonna be real weird.
I'm excited because my favorite thing in this game is doing trials, and let me tell you how many times I have done Shiva. It is over 200.
Why have you done Shiva 200 times?
So I had to do it 110 times in 2.4 to get the best Black Mage staff at that point for rating.
Okay.
And it did not drop for 110 times.
And this was before the token system.
Yep.
I get you.
Then I did more for the horse. That brought me up to like 150, I think. And then I did it a lot of times to help everyone else get their horses over the years. Because I love listening. Because listen, Oblivion is one of my favorite songs in the game. So I was just like, I get to just stand there as a warrior and just do very easy things and listen to Oblivion. Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you. Oblivion's one of my favorite songs too.
It's very good.
It fucking rips.
And the new Oblivion song is also good.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, we didn't really talk about that, huh? The Eden storyline?
No.
There's not much to say, but...
Yeah, I just know that a lot of people got really, like, angry about it, and I got the impression that they were angry about it because either they just wanted to make jokes about the fact that Nomura, like, tangentially was involved, even though he didn't do any of the writing for that at all, and people were like, this is such a Nomura-ass, like, storyline, and I'm like, Nomura's not the one writing this. He just made the character. And then I feel like another group of people were mad just because there were two girls who were very clearly like into each other, and they were mad about that, but they didn't realize that they were mad about that. But the other thing, I guess, is that people were really pissed off about the setup for the fourth fight.
Yeah.
Because they were like, I would never let her do this. And I was just like, it's probably a bad idea, but, you know, I'm a badass. So
yeah, we can handle it. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let Thancred and Urianger's daughter be in actual serious danger. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I'm completely confident.
Those two are such dads in that
It rules. Yeah,
storyline.
no, it's really good.
And then like the best part for me of that whole storyline was like when you get the clear for E8 and the achievement is Trouble in Paradise, just in case you didn't realize that they are in lesbians with each other.
It's good.
It's good.
I really just liked it overall. I didn't really have any complaints. Like, I do think that maybe perhaps the ending was a bit rushed, but it's still
Yeah.
it makes me very excited for what they're going to do with their fight choreography, for lack of a better term, going forward, because the whole thing Gaia does at the end of E8 is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Even watching it for like the 20th time, it's still
It's still
man,
like,
it's nice that I get to
yes.
just chill here. I'm just gonna chill here and watch this.
And the music working perfect. The music seems to line up perfectly every time.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. The last thing is we're not, like we mentioned it before, how like there's a new trial coming in 5.3, but it's not a weapon trial, but they did tease what I assume is Sapphire weapon, like the image of it, which we are still going to fight, but it's not going to be like a trial that you do with other players. It's just going to be like an instance duty, which is very funny for Sapphire weapon, considering isn't it one of the only two weapons in Final Fantasy VII you don't actually fight?
I think it's the only weapon you don't fight in Final Fantasy VII, right? I think.
You can fight Ruby weapon, Diamond weapon,
And Emerald.
weapon.
Is there another
Isn't
one? Other than Sapphire?
Ultima weapon.
It's Ultima in 7? I didn't even know.
Yeah, actually, the design for 14's Ultima weapon is based off of the 7 Ultima weapon. Although I think Ultima weapon might be like a bonus thing that they added later, or like in a later version, or in some other thing. I don't remember. I do know that Sapphire weapon you don't fight because it's just in like a cutscene.
Oh yes, you are correct. I am sorry. I not that I doubted you. I was just looking up to confirm because I thought it was from 6, but it's not. There it is from 6, but that's what they put that into the end of Fractal Continuum hard,
Yes.
which was cool.
I think they renamed that one to the Ultima Beast
Yeah, it was like, or was it? Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
or something like that, or the Ultima Behemoth. I don't remember, but like yeah, the Ultima weapon as we know it in 14 is just basically taken wholesale from 7.
It sure is. It's the same damn model.
Yeah,
It's an 8 too.
But yeah, so. But yeah, we're not fighting Sapphire weapon in a trial. We're just fighting it like as maybe solo, which is going to be cool. I'd love to fucking like if I could solo tank Ruby weapon, I would, but you kind of need 2 tanks for the ending part with the comets. You can solo heal it though, apparently, which seems really funny. Because the part where there's the 2 stack markers that the healers get, one of the tanks gets the stack markers, and so they just invuln and just take it themselves, and everybody else stacks with the remaining healer,
Oh yeah.
which seems cool. But yeah, I think this next patch 5.3 is really gonna just. It has the potential to really push Shadowbringers over the edge and to be like. Now that we have like all of the post patches at this point for the storyline, 5.3 is going to be the thing that decides like, are the Heavensward perverts finally going to admit that Shadowbringers is way better than Heavensward?
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
I feel like most of the ones I know at least have come around to saying that. Like, I feel like most people when they finish Shadowbringers are like, all right, that's the best one. Yep.
Yeah. And like, you know, I really like Stormblood, but Shadowbringers is just like so it is the culmination of all of it. Like, I know people will say things like Stormblood walked so Shadowbringers could run, but it's more like the rest of the game walked so Shadowbringers could fucking
for
sprint
sure.
down the corridor. What a good expansion, and it's almost done. But there's always going to be more to the journey.
Yeah, and I hope it only gets better and better.
So yeah, I think that's going to wrap things up for us this time.
Ooh, only half the duration.
Yeah, well, you know,
No, there was
we
plenty
talked
to
about
talk
it too.
about.
Yeah, there was plenty to talk about. There was like 2.5 patches worth, basically. 5.1, 5.2, a little bit of teasing stuff for 5.3, and then like all of the MSQ stuff they're changing. I think this is going to be a pretty good patch coming up.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to say? Closing thoughts?
No, I hope that 5.3 is as good as like 3.3 and 4.3, really, because I really liked both of those quite a bit. So I hope that we don't really have a clear idea of what that's going to be, the big boss at the end or whatever, or how they're going to wrap it up, but I hope that it's good.
Yeah, me too. You know what? It will be good. It's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be some moments, and people are gonna be like, "Oh man, this was." I don't know how I feel about that, but it's gonna be good. It's all gonna be good.
I think Natsuko Ishikawa said she already wrote it or whatever in the past, I think, when they were doing the documentaries. So
Yeah. Which yeah, she is. She needs to be the writer for the next expansion.
and she is, so
Hell yeah, they have learned.
oh yeah, if anyone hasn't seen those documentaries they put out, watch those. Those are great.
Oh yeah, they're really good. I really liked the monster design.
Yes,
one
that was what I was going to say too.
Oh, it's so
It's
good.
really good.
I like the idea that they don't tell the modeling team like whether or not they can do a monster. They just say just draw the thing, just create it, and let us worry about modeling it. You know, don't worry about if like you don't think it can work in the engine. We will make it work.
I think my favorite line from the whole thing was when that one designer was talking about how they designed the second boss for Eden 2 or whatever, the what is it, something walker, void walker.
Oh, the Void Walker.
Yeah, and he designed it as being a mount, and then they just put it upside down.
Oh, it's so good.
Like, it was so funny to hear, and I was like, oh my god, that makes so much sense with how it looks. Oh.
All right. I think that's going to close it up for us.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out our website, Video Game Choo Choo, for gaming news, posts, updates. You can also join our chat at thegamezone.zone. Rose, would you like to plug anything?
I'm just going to say that we will have one faster this time. Next time around for the next patch, because I am sorry that you all missed out, because we said a lot of shit, I think, but we covered most of it this time around. So
Yeah.
but next time we will for sure have one out, probably pretty quick after 5.4.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for us. Everybody have a good day, a good week. Stay safe, stay healthy. So long.